Hello and welcome back to clocc. It's talk time and time talk. I'm your host Taylor.
And I'm Callie. I'm on here for the third time now. It's pretty crazy.
And I'm the bouncer. You can AK Connor, so I might as well be known as that now. This is my second time on here, so yeah, less nervous than the first. So I'm probably not gonna have an aneurysm mid call.
Better than you.
And before he actually does have fucking some sort of chronic stroke, and he's just sitting there and goes, "Oh shit!
You
Oh
sure,
fuck!"
you sure a
Hey,
thud
where's
on the
Snoopy?
floor? You sure a thud on the floor and just no response.
Just rest in peace. The man died.
Rest.
The man died
Yes.
dead. Rip.
The man died doing what he loved, talking on a podcast.
Talking to people.
Just existing.
Yeah.
Cellular decomposition is his favorite thing. Him existing. I like doing this. This is my favorite thing.
Also him. Uh-oh. Guys.
Uh-oh, my tummy and heart feel funny. Why is everything spinning? I am dead.
Uh-oh. Why do I see light?
Why do I see darkness? Why am I in a tunnel?
And then
Why do I
his,
see golden gates?
and then his eyes turn into X's and his tongue falls out of his mouth.
I was gonna say, that's like, is that me or is that the most like the most cartoon depiction of death?
It is. It is.
Yes,
though.
it is.
Oh, someone's dead. You know.
Also, he has to have the little angel version of himself, kind of flying out, basically his soul flying out.
Yeah, or sometimes.
Yeah, he...
Yeah, or
it's going
sometimes
down.
the character stands up, looks at his body, smacks it
Yeah.
about a bit, and then
Yeah,
starts going up.
it's like some Tom and Jerry level shit, bro.
Tom and Jerry is epic.
It
I used to
bro,
watch
it
that all the
is.
time.
I still watch it all the time, bro.
Did you know that the final... Oof. Go ahead.
Did you watch the episode where they suicided? Where Tom's
Yeah. The final one.
The way
That actually isn't the final one. I'm dead serious.
Oh.
That is not the final one. They just say it is, but it actually isn't. It was just
they
a episode.
usually say it's the final one because it's pretty much things like that can kill off the entire series.
But
Well,
it
yeah.
didn't, it was just an episode.
Oh.
Like the way that latest episode of SpongeBob acknowledged that the creepypasta Squidward suicide exists.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
I'll have to
saw
check
it.
that out.
And to be honest with you, it's been around for so long. It was going to be drafted in at one point to at least
Oh,
acknowledge.
yeah.
Is it just me, or is it back when SpongeBob first came out, it was normal, but now it's they're on crack or something every time they make it, or they're on shrooms?
They've
Always
they've
been
run out
so much
of
It
jokes.
is so much more
thing
fucking
is-
crazy.
Well, it's pretty much followed the same demise as things like Family Guy and whatnot.
Oh,
The
yeah.
older ones were better because the humor was there. You know,
Yeah, but now
for
they
the
just
how
can't.
long?
Now they can't innovate, so it's loud equals funny, crazy stuff equals funny. It's not like a literal joke that takes it's not like a Monty Python level joke that takes intelligence to understand. It's just oh wow, flashing
400
lights,
IQ.
that's funny. Yeah, it's not like anything it's not like an actual joke. It's just
the old
cop
school
out
episodes. You know, the ones from what 20.
90,
I was gonna say,
2002.
The
Yeah,
the
the
peak
OG shit.
episodes. The peak episodes was anything from 2006 through to 2012.
Yeah,
Those
it's
were
not
coming
because
home
the
from school, coming home.
the
from
earliest
school, sit
ones
down.
because
Jesus
the-
Christ! You guys are talking over each other.
the earliest ones, the
cut
first
your
ones,
fucking
those
face.
were bruh.
Yeah,
Talk over each other. That's all podcast is, just hearing a bunch of. Oh, speaking of the podcast, I actually watched the lost episode, so to speak. That was 20-some minutes long. I just laughed my ass off in the second half of it.
yeah, no, that's the reason why we don't have or rarely choose Gabe now is because of that reason, and I'm still not happy.
He's
with
benched. Yeah, he benched, bro.
benched.
You head out.
What? Okay, I just got a question. Was he after the fact, after all this, was he legit sincere sorry, or was he okay, did he not care?
We pretty much dropped speaking to him for a while. And to be honest with you, it's kind of fair because of the fact of you held me up almost an entire half an hour, for which I could have been talking to someone else or actually doing a different podcast episode.
But think of the bright side. That's why I'm here.
Well, no, the really funny thing is with you is the way I got you in was after that fucking episode. I was fuming. I was pissed right the fuck off.
I actually did not. Yeah. You're like,
I was like, I'm gonna scream if I don't actually get anyone on because of the fact of then I'll just have to like do something myself.
I could tell you were desperate just by the
fact of how you were. I was really fucking angry.
No, like how much you were persuading me to get on. Like you were slightly desperate.
I was like, shit needs to be done. And if I want to actually keep this growing, I kind of need this content consistently.
You had your work ethic kind of spike up
when you go single mode for podcast.
But then I was watching the other one, the one that I could get to because phone died. Phone fucking died before I was able to.
You didn't charge your phone? You didn't pre-hand charge your phone?
Shut up.
SMH.
Shut up.
Yeah, the more ironic thing is,
But it was entertaining to hear you guys talk shit about the dead server. It was entertaining.
No, I just find it more ironic the fact of I have you on Xbox. Yeah,
and you did not.
I was like, okay, it's something corner, right? Me looks through entire like 600 friends. Me can't find anything. Me, fucking give up.
Forgot, bro. You know what you could have done? You could just looked on my Discord info because I have my Xbox on my fucking description. You could have just done that.
But when you're sitting about for like 15 minutes, like, okay, this motherfucker about to like hop on, reply to message, right? I'm sitting there and I go, yeah, now fuck it. I want to get this shit done before it's too late.
I mean, it was entertaining that when you talk shit about horribly made sonas and just like the most generic fucking ones. It was great.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Right, this brings me because we've pretty much gone into this. There's those furry dating games and things like that.
The ones that piss me off here's the ones that piss me off the most are the ones that are literally, it's to the point where they're unnormal. Like I'm not gonna say names, but like
Before because I would like to get mine done. So, as we all know, you've probably seen furry dating games either off of Steam or you're searching it yourself.
Yep.
So you've seen them, and one of them, right? The company, or not the company, but the team behind it pretty much all went split. The development's pretty much gone. So the game went through full release, and then after that they just abandoned the whole thing. So there's still bugs and shit in it.
That's pretty ass.
The thing is, though, the characters that were in that game were either the ones that weren't like as exclusive for you being a Patreon backer, which also had its own story of if you was pledging a certain amount and they sent you an email or a message or something, and if you didn't get back in there, back to that message in time, your slot would be auctioned off. So I think it was like 3 or 4 people had their shit auctioned off because they didn't reply in time. And so going back to the character bit, the characters in that game were also sold off.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, you had the rights to use the character, but you didn't have complete control and IP of them.
Creative rights.
You can have creative rights.
Oh really?
But,
I thought there was something about that that you couldn't have certain creative rights.
But instead they took your IP from you. So it's yours because you have creative rights, but they still own the intellectual property because they make more merchandise from it.
Yeah.
And in a way, I mean, it's like having your characters pretty much the promotional poster boy, but then the characters they had, I think 3 of them out of the entire 10 or something, only 3 of them were memorable. You think of the game, you'd be like, oh, those characters.
Yeah. Of course.
And I think the guy who sold them off made a profit of $4,000 from them.
It was an elaborate plan.
Easy money.
One of the characters which were also sold off was a legitimate generic fucking lion.
Oh my god.
Generic as fuck. it couldn't have been any more like boring.
basic.
It was literally just a light tanned lion, and that was it.
Like, that's the first thing you think of when you hear a lion. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it. And I'm pretty sure they got sold for like $700.
Oh my god! And there was probably no backstory. It was like I grew up in the savannah. There you go. That's the only backstory you get. That's probably
the thing is as well is because the character is like a lesser known one, but people want to obviously get it because of the reason it's in the game, so it's more special.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a character with a bit more of a well-known story, or like one of the more like fan favorites, that's understandable, for people to outbid and all that stuff, because they actually have a bit more of a written story instead of, oh yeah, I just am a bouncer for this club, so it's kind of okay, but it's not really at the same time. But to be honest,
true.
I like the character. It's like, fuck off. Boring. Like me and you, right? We sat through last episode or the episode before that. We sat here and said we can literally just make a fucking character on the fly.
Yeah, that's what we did. We literally did that.
The thing is, it's just like it gets to the point of how to tell a good story in the first place. You need good characters with depth. You can't just have generic shit, or else your story is not gonna go well. Your story's gonna be shit and boring.
Character with a generic story. Like 3 of those, like 10 characters, I think.
It gets into the question of what makes a story good from what makes a story mediocre. A mediocre story could easily be like, oh yeah, just something generic, like something that's, and not just generic, but something like overused. Just something extremely overused, generic. For a good story, or to be a good storyteller, you actually have to you don't have to make something new, but make something different. It doesn't have to be like a new genre, but make something different or slightly different from everyone else.
That makes your character stand out.
Yeah, make it you. Make it personal. And the easiest way to do that is to make it personal. That's such an easy way to do it. Just make it have something that your personal life has.
The previous one, where we were building a fucking character, you also heard that, he got like captured and shit.
Yeah, like and that's simple. You don't even need to think much for that, and yet it adds so much more depth and just it adds so much stuff to the character. Like oh, he got captured. Like, was he suffering from some sort of like PTSD or something? Could that go into it, or is he like having like some, or is it revenge, or does he have like some sort of revenge instinct to go up against like the people that captured him? Like it opens up so much opportunity and so much
more depth
innovation
to the character than just traditional. Oh, he just works at a local Starbucks, and
he just works at a bar as a bartender.
I mean, even adding like a really like boring piece of information can help play a big piece. Like even for example of just saying, in his childhood he spent most of his younger years working in Starbucks, McDonald's, things like that. Because then you can, if there's that time in some sort of role play or a conversation with someone else, you can bring up like, oh, my character's backstory. It's more linear, but it should, it still has vital key elements to your character.
Like it doesn't have to be complete brand new. Like, oh, this is different from everyone else. It just has to be different enough to where it's not like just something you whip together and half-assed. Like don't half-ass it. Actually try.
I mean, even if you half-ass it, you can still make a story legible.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go like, list off a few like things he's done, or even like if you wanted to, like draft it up in 5 minutes, just like pinpoint
a rough draft. If you're so inclined to be that creative, you can do a rough draft.
Yeah, or better yet, just make a set of characters, have different things from all of them, and then combine some things to make like one character that you really like. Like combine things you like from other characters into a more personalized character.
True.
To build a character, obviously, you need that drive and whatnot.
Yeah. The one main thing I hate, especially about furry role players, especially when it comes to their characters, not all of them, but there's a big mass of them that it's not the point. Their character is not just generic, but it's the thing of like we're like, okay, so this is the thing. Last time I know you got in the last podcast. I know exactly the person you guys were talking about. The guy, you're like, if your character is just like an oversized penis or something, add a fucking backstory to that. Like, I know exactly
Yeah.
who you were talking about. And that's the one thing I hate, because it's the fact of you're that low and you're that desperate for a sexual role play that you make your character's penis the size of the character. That's one of the things I
And
truly just
theoretically as
despise.
well. Along
Yeah,
with that,
because
if you're doing it more realistic, you're more than likely going to die from the amount of blood
and
required.
it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that all that shows is how desperate that person is for a role play where that has sex. That's how you know. That's how you know it. That guy's just a little sweaty slob.
Okay.
That's really what it says.
Hold on. And also factor in the other hypersized parts of another character, i.e., breasts, or even just hypersized stomachs.
Yeah, it's just the
I
fact
just
of
don't. I can't.
I don't understand it. I just can't comprehend what goes through your mind. Are you lonely? There's a thing called Pornhub. All right.
I mean,
If
not
you're
even
that,
that. You've got you've got all these other art boards as well for whatever weird fantasies you have. Yeah, I know people like
Rule 34 is the usual fucking the number one place.
Everything.
It's
Literally.
like if you're so inclined to have a sexual role play like that, then just don't even fucking role play. Or better yet, don't show your character around. Talk to people and be like, "Hey, are you into this?" Or some shit like that.
actually find someone who's more inclined to listen.
Because at this point, like, because I remember, because on Discord, I would see the quote unquote person with that character. He would just stick it up in every chat and be like, "Hey guys, you want RP? That's perfectly fine with me." And I'm just like, no, I'm disgusted now. That makes me less likely to even want to.
Attention,
then you're gonna get You don't need to scream and beg for it.
As long as you just post like a standard advertisement, like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm looking to roleplay. I'm into blah blah blah," and then someone will be like, "Okay, I'm also into blah blah blah," and then boom, you've now found a roleplay partner, and now you can just enjoy yourself and have fun.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they're.
Can I speak, Smithy? Smithy, you're talking a lot. Can I speak?
Fine, speak.
Okay, so a long time ago, I found this one guy who said his character was all badass and stuff, and that his character was like strong, and he gave his character a very big wiener because of that, and that's not something you should do. You need to give your character like aggressive traits and like strong traits, not just a wee, a big wee.
I was going to say not just that, but if you wanted to as well, you can also say that he's on steroids, so naturally his penis is just going to shrink because of that.
Hey, Callie, I got a question for you. Was it the Flexi Man on the Great Wall of China? Was it the Flexi Man?
Okay.
No.
We're not going to recite inside jokes because of the fact of no one would fucking understand.
I don't even understand that one.
Yeah.
But speaking of characters like that, right, the guys I also don't understand is when they'll find a piece of art offered like E6 or something.
Oh, no.
The ones will find a piece of art and then throw it up on their profile.
Yep.
And then be like, I want to be this character. And it's like, okay, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I see this acceptable to a level. Right? You can play
it is acceptable to a level.
As long as you play with the character, whatever the character's traits are.
Like if you're not creative enough, then absolutely fine. Use a like a Google picture. But
I was going to say don't use a Google picture.
Yeah, don't use a Google picture.
That's like the lowest you can go. That's like your very start as a furry would be like you'd go on Google Pictures. And like furry.
Yeah, and those are the people and that's what I'm appealing to when I say inexperienced. And those are the people I mean when I say inexperienced. Like those are the people I'm appealing to when I say that. Like that's like a get out of jail free card. It's crap, but it's what you got. It's like what you do with what you got.
True.
But I actually what I another thing I hate is the fact of when someone's character is so godlike. Like this happened to me personally. So this guy, he had a wolf, and he basically made it into it was like part wolf, part phoenix. And he's like, I can survive anything. And so I'm like, so we're and the thing is, this guy was just he had such a big ego, and it was even bigger than mine, which I find surprising because I know myself that I have a very high ego. Like I recognize I have a huge ego, but this guy was so My God, it just for all you people in the comments, just know how delusional this guy was. Like, he would suck the owners of a server's toes, get a fucking.
I feel that.
Okay, Halo. You know what? Yeah.
You're dragging shit on.
That was great.
Okay, Halo. You know who I'm talking about, so you talk about him, Halo. You already know who I'm talking about. You could probably explain it better than I ever could.
I just mainly
because you're on the inside.
Right. If when you're building characters and things, in your ref, not even your ref sheet, you got to do your backstory. Don't do some like stupid sad shit.
Oh my God! Yep. Don't do a pity party story because that's just.
Or the ones that are like, hold on. They were born into a poor family and grew up without much money to go around and was.
And now they're a millionaire.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's the point of it's so overused that it's just
would follow up like nearing the end of their story with so she started becoming a street prostitute, and that was the only way to collect money for a dream job, which was being a professional model. And if I can just say this as well, I don't think being a prostitute would help you being a model because of the fact that everyone would know you.
Same shit. Different thing. Same shit, different area. Showing off your body in two different ways.
Yeah, and not just that, but remember, then more people are going to know you, and probably the more legal people as well would be like, but wherever your character was born from or something, or even if he was to follow just by real laws as well, they would probably go, that was illegal, we're not going to hire you for your dream job.
True.
That's where people also kind of got into this, like, or that's where I think, it's hit a roadblock because the fact of, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Yo, dude.
Do you know what you've just done? Like, oh, your character was a prostitute, but what the fuck does that add to your character? Yeah, to some extent, like sexual stuff, but
the only thing is I feel like it's basically the same thing as with the people making enlarged private parts for their character, except it's just like for not males but females. It's like all it shows is that your main objective is sex. That's mainly just what it shows. Mainly the only thing that these people try to achieve is showing that all their characters want is sex.
Sexually abused as well, I think is a bit too low for everyone's standards.
Yeah.
You can bring in some really like sad things like about their family as an extended part of the backstory if it plays a story or plays a piece to your
important and shows stuff.
It's the point of adding unnecessary things. It's the point of like adding unnecessary taboos to your story. It's a story is good. Like it's like with violence in a story. It's good if it's constructive and it actually tells.
If it actually has
a story. Yeah, but if there's no point, it's just violence for the sake of violence, which is it's usually gruesome. And it's usually destructive to the story. It's basically the same thing. Taboos for the sake of having a taboo is it's just like okay, here's the thing. Like if you want to add a story and like you want to say, oh yeah, I was sexually abused, but I went to therapy and it helped me built me up to who I am today as a better person, then I can understand that has a point. But when you say I was sexually abused and then I became a prostitute, not only is it kind of ironic, but there's no point because like how there's no effect. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect your story in any way. All it is you saying I was sexually abused.
There's also a very contradicting point to that about how Yeah.
You being sexually assaulted and abused, right? You being sexually assaulted and abused, and then becoming a prostitute. Wouldn't that overlap itself in one?
Yeah, it would. That's what I meant by
and
ironic.
loving sex
That's what I meant by saying
like
it's ironic. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't make sense.
Personally,
the only way you can really do that would be if, like, your character was a childhood friend who's been through 'em, like, been with their, some shit's happened and they've been there every day, and then they build this emotional connection, and that's bit more
really the only way.
You can
that's really the only
acceptably, role play erotically with them.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. TLDR doesn't make sense. Whistle.
Yeah, whistles.
I actually, I don't remember the page, but I went to a few Instagram pages that quote unquote specialize in archiving the drama, so to speak.
Oh, no.
And I had a fucking blast. Now
this makes me think. You remember how, like, during 2018 and 17, there was a shit ton of, not drama, but a shit ton of just fucking furry accounts.
In general, yes, there were.
I post every day, guys. Every day. Then, like, you'd see them post every day, and then they would stop posting for like 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah. And that's
when they keep doing it. They get really big. Oh, look at the one what got like really big for posting borderline pictures.
Oh my gosh, I think I remember that. I didn't follow it, but I remember seeing
touching and rubbing the borderline. Like, this one could get deleted. This one could get deleted. And it's like you build up so many to the point it's ready to be deleted because
they're the ones. Yeah, there were so many that they wouldn't post NSFW, but they would say follow my Snapchat for the NSFW version.
Oh no, I find the funnier ones like, yo, actually DM me for full, and I'm like,
DM for full.
Or if you actually had a bigger cognitive system, reverse image searching exists,
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to look at an image, like take a picture of the image, or download it and then run it
Save
through
it.
search, and then go, I found the full thing.
And I hate how, because I remember I talked to a few people about this, not on a podcast or whatever, I just talked to a few people in general, and they're like, well, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'm on mobile. It's like, look up google.com, get the desktop version, which you can through the settings, and then go to
reverse image search on mobile. And you don't have to go on desktop version. Yeah, there's TinEye, there's things like TinEye,
but
personally, as well.
That's the one I personally use all of them. It really just depends. Like, if it's something that's not going to be able to be reverse image searched by Google, then I'll go to TinEye. But
Source Now is actually
other than that,
if you're searching for art, and it's very useful as well if you're searching for Trickstar.
They're all pretty good. Not all of them, but most of the bigger ones are pretty decent to pretty good. Like TinEye, like said Source. I mean, most of the time they're pretty good.
I mean, stealing art anyway is just unacceptable. But it's always nice to have, if you're an artist out there or something, you kind of sometimes you should actually check to see if your art is either being reposted under a different name or something.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Oh! I just got something. By the way, the new guy messaged me and said, "Sorry, bro, I can't do it. I should have told you earlier, but I don't have service."
For what?
Yeah, understandable. Well, he'll just be next time I do a thing with other people.
Custom
set.
Yeah, like basically, I showed one of my friends' podcasts, and they're like, this seems cool," and I'm like, I'll let you meet the man himself, and he's like, "I."
Oh, okay.
And then one thing led to another, and he was supposed to be on today, but he was busy. He was busy for pretty much all Sunday.
And no shoes, no service either. So rip.
Yeah. I mean, I think what it was is he was taking a day trip in like the mountains or something. I honestly don't remember, but he was like taking a day trip somewhere, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird on how people look at things, ain't it?
Yeah.
When it comes to look at this furry page, and then like two really big, there'd be thousands upon thousands, and it'd all be growing like really rapidly. and then one would get into a relationship with another. They would like date for a couple of months, right?
Then
Everything would be like smooth sailing, but then a third
Yeah.
person from out of nowhere would be trying to date someone, and then there'd be drama between these three. But then
Oh my God,
someone
yeah.
else would get pulled into it.
Then
So
it
then
would
you've got this
spread.
shit show of
It would-
4 people,
It was
and then you
a
got
virus. It was
and
really
you've
a
got these other
virus.
people as well who are their friends all backing them up. So it's gone from 4 people to like 10 people, and then
And
now
then- and-
this is like going fucking everywhere. And then before you know it, the entire fucking like entire fandom's just a fucking like battle royale. Who can fucking
Yeah.
survive?
Victory
And then you
Royale.
got and then you got the fucking followers of the Instagram page that's affiliated with that who are
And
like, I'm
during-
gonna fight for them,
Yeah,
and then they
during
just
all
go
this
off.
pull up with like a Discord server as well.
Oh my gosh, then they'll be like, let's infiltrate the server with different usernames or different, shit like that. And they'll be like, let's stay quiet, let's spy on them, that type of shit. And then they'll be like, oh, let's full out go and just fucking take out their Discord server.
Let's be
That will-
funny. Let's be funny.
See, the main problem is the fact that pretty much all this drama was because of their own stupidity, especially with the Discord servers. Wow. I don't know why my Discord server got invaded, yet you have your Discord server on your Instagram page, literally out for
So-
everyone to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get into some Discord drama or something, or like
Just-
you were
just make
really
sure-
notoriously known like furry page,
Yeah, just make
for the love
sure.
of Christ, make sure your roles ain't piggable. Make sure things like that aren't available to be mass pinged, so you don't have to run the concern of, oh, this is like, gonna happen.
Yeah, or better yet, just make sure
Well,
that your
my
server
server might
isn't being
get-
advertised. Just make sure your server isn't being advertised everywhere. Just like know the people who are going into your server and make sure that you can trust them. Like it's such a simple thing to know. It's like you don't need to have an IQ to even think about it or do
I mean,
that.
all you need is just one
Yeah.
person to have the link on their account, and then someone
Yeah.
can join, and then get the link from like the invite link room or like wherever you'd store it.
It's available to everyone then. And
Yeah.
most people are too brain dead to realize that you can disable
Yeah.
certain functions too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. It's just it's
Well,
so
The one thing as well is, you remember in that one server, which was perfectly like the verification system I suggested was perfectly fine and made a lot
It
of
was.
fucking sense.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was because I remember you told me about that
You
system
create
firsthand, and it was like,
your character. You create
Yeah.
some your character, so there's no issue there. You can hook up. You can make sure. Oh, you want to submit your character? Oh, you're an actual like person. Okay, boom, there you go. If you're like taking the piss, oh, you like do a taking the piss picture. Oh, look at that. It's
Bam.
it's something like Shrek or something, and then like it's a really stupid description. Then he's not capable of joining the server.
That's what we
Yeah.
had for a while, then it got cancelled.
Yeah, then they were like, oh, let's just put it back to the verification. And I was like, there's no point. You make a loophole, and not just that, but half of the. What you need to do is like search through like rules to find an exclamation.
There's so many
Which-
retards joined after that. It was crazy how much dumbasses were there after
Yeah,
that was put back in place.
I mean, the problem is you do not run a Discord server by numbers. You run it by
you do it
people
for the
that you can
people
depend.
in your community.
It's like let's say
Look
you're
at community discords.
like-
You got like artist community discords. You got like group chats for you and your friends. You got like big community discords. Fans for
Yeah.
YouTubers,
yeah.
and then like the
Yeah.
official like ones. And think of them. They've built their server around their fans, and you can suggest shit for them.
Yeah, but when you don't build your server around your fans and you build it just for clout, basically, it loses all its purpose. Because like think about like this. Compare if I made 2 video games.
Okay.
One was for like let's say I added 2 games to the Call of Duty series. One was actually for the people who liked Call of Duty, and the other one was just for nostalgia. I'm thinking about you, World War II, because you were crap. Let's say I completely remade World at War, and it was basically a carbon copy, except it had better graphics. It's basically, and it was like bugs were fixed and all that. Compare how people would like that to if I made one just for nostalgia and just to like really just for numbers. There would be no comparison. People would hate the other one. People would
nostalgia is a
hate it.
good thing. Nostalgia is something people seek in games.
No, I meant like what Call of Duty World War II did, where it was like, oh, boots on the ground. Like it would basically say, this is nostalgia, come and play it, and then it turned out to be a piece of shit.
Well, what if it ends up being a good game?
Well, then it's a good game, but that was the first example.
Okay. Where do we head now? Should we diverge?
Where do we head now?
Should we
the
diverge?
thing is, with your communities and things, you have to make sure that you tailor it for them and still enough to benefit from you.
Yeah,
And
like,
for new people too. It needs to
that's
be
what I mean.
introductory as
Fans,
well.
you
like
have
that's
to
why
make
I
it
say, if
so
you're going to make a good enough system to get people into a place, you should at least give them something what challenges them, so you know for a matter of fact they aren't going to just join for shits and giggles.
like
and fuck
you
off.
have to make it so everyone wins, yet everyone has to basically stay connected. You have to make it so everyone wins, and it's not just beneficial to you, but it's beneficial to everyone to be there. But also, it's interesting enough and it changes enough to where people want to keep going there and keep being active instead of just basically forgetting that exists.
So
I mean, the
every
same thing.
server tries to do with events.
Yeah, look at some servers where they'd be, they'd restructure it, right, to then make it, oh, it's Halloween, so through the entirety of like October they would, add this Halloween theme, change the server name, not the server name, but keep the server name, change up
like
the
banner
chat
or
names,
something like
things.
that. Yeah,
They'd change up the chat names, add jack-o'-lanterns and things like that to the chat names. Spooky Forest would be like general or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you
Like
got the servers
like,
that would be like, oh, let's do an Easter event, and then like Easter rolls about, and it's like, where's the event?
it's
No
it's
promises.
The one thing is that just by all of these things, because you've done these with your server, Halo, you have, and just by that matter, your server is immediately better than probably 3/4 or 2/3 of the servers that are on Discord in the first place. And now I'm wondering why your server doesn't have thousands of members, because that's kind of what it deserves, to be honest.
Because it's a private server and there's not meant to be thousands of members.
I know, but still,
It's based as a community
hard
server
work should
since
pay
that it's
off.
on the hub and here.
Yeah.
I don't really care if one day I wake up and there's thousands of people because my podcast blew up. I don't really care about that. I would be quite happy because I've then got a following, and I'd still treat it like how I would now. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But if it gets any bigger, I'd be like, I have potential in this, but I'm not gonna just let it slip out my hands.
I'm gonna control it. I'm gonna keep it controlled. I'm not just gonna let it go berserk. I'm gonna keep it controlled.
Because I like how mine are going now. It's growing at a slow yet steady pace, but enough that if I keep doing this for long enough, this commitment will pay off.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because each week there's something new to bring, or sometimes we'll bring up some old topics for to get a different viewpoint on it.
Yeah, like there's always new stuff. There's
and
always
that's what
new
I
stuff to
usually
do.
say as well. If anyone in the comments, that someone can drop a suggestion for the next episode in the comments, and I'd be fine with that because it's something different to bring about.
True.
Because really, a podcast cannot survive on generic same old topics. It has to have new stuff.
Why do you think this podcast is more of the gem, more of the diamond?
Improv. Why it's more improv? That's just why it's
a lot more of the It's more it's more unique than your traditional one because of the fact that it's built differently.
It's not the same thing every time.
Yeah, because you got the traditional podcast where it's like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about first. We'll talk about this second at this exact time, and so on and so on. Sure, that may be.
I have a few specifics sometimes.
Sure, that system may be consistent, but and efficient to a point, but it's not at all going to bring anything new to the table, and it's going to get boring and lackluster. It's going to get dull really quickly.
It's going to hurt the audience. Yeah. Like for some, out there, for some podcast series, they'd be like, okay, we can go in our studio. There's this about this game, this about that game, you know?
Yeah.
I feel that we kind of just like divert off and on topic sometimes, like depending on what's going on.
And
like,
I kind of, and I feel like that, like us not being fully on topic, like kind of off topic at some point, just shows that this is more natural. It's not like there's no set rule book
Sometimes I need
saying.
to keep it on a hinge, so
Well, yeah,
flow.
of course, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So it's not like anarchy, of course, but like, I think it's more natural when it's like more improv like this, when we're allowed to have flexibility. Where we're allowed
fun.
Yeah, it's like it's more natural. It's like this is really the most natural you can probably get while having some constraints.
Smith, I have a challenge for you.
Yeah.
Go 2 sentences without saying like.
Oh, that's a hard one. I bet you can't do that.
I hate the wall. There's one sentence, and I hate chairs. Done. Where's my $500?
Over there. In the bank,
Over
you
where?
have to go point a gun to their head and
All right.
get the money
okay.
that way.
Okay.
Just hear a shotgun rack in the background. Which bank we going to? Which bank
That
we
one.
talking about? Which is that one? There's many different banks. Bank of America.
Yes.
All right. No. The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve's bank.
Right.
Steal all their gold.
So, with the, what was it? Trump tried to do something with shooter games, didn't he?
Hell, I have no idea. I don't pay attention.
Personally, for me, I try to forget that. I try to forget.
I find it funny when people try and ban like violent video games from the get-go.
Yeah, same. It's pretty stupid.
I mean, here's the thing. We've tried to do the same thing, except it was called the Prohibition era, and it was with alcohol. There were mobsters popping up. There was so much more crime. See, if you ban something, all that's going to do is increase the demand for it.
It's only going to
think about drugs.
I mean,
it's
drugs
all gonna...
on a different hands a lot more of a different story.
Yeah, but still, like,
it's more dangerous to the human being.
Yeah, but like, let's say this: you completely ban the sale of any gun. That would just make people want the gun more, and they would go through more measures to get it.
I mean, some countries pulled it off, and
some countries, but mainly it's due to totalitarianism and that type of shit.
That brings me to something about about Canada here. Actually, like 3 years ago, I said, "Hey, since so many people want to smoke weed, they should just legalize it and tax it." And last year, what do? They legalize weed and they tax it. It's smart because they make so much money from it. So many potheads.
I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah, like because it went. You guys had it. As soon as they legalized it, I'm pretty sure the entire reserve they had went.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't show you that, yeah, it's good. But then I think there should be places where you can smoke it in a way. Is there disturbing like the peace of the public?
Like have like a lounge, like a special lounge where you can just go to and smoke some weed.
But it's at the same time, it's also the public's job to find ways around it and to deal with it themselves.
Because in my city we have vape lounges and something like that could be used for basically.
Because think of it as well as the people outside, right? The people who would smoke it outside in their back garden. Think of the people as well who are the neighbors. How it's disruptive for them because they only have the foul smell of drugs.
Yeah.
Weld. Yeah, I smelled it like a few years ago in BC. It smells foul. Like no
one. It's to some people it's inviting, and look at how different places do it. Like like most Jamaican and things. They would close their windows and make sure no one else can smell it because they value other people's privacy as well.
Yeah.
They respect that some people might not like the smell of drugs. So in that sense of, it makes sense for them to do it. With they close the windows because they don't want to disturb anyone else.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
It's fair then.
the main thing I hate about when people say, "Oh, we should keep these like some drugs." Yeah, you gotta keep them illegal. Like the ones that can, like cocaine stuff like that. That
Kill a
like
person
crack
from a
cocaine.
small dose.
Yeah, that stuff.
Extremely dangerous.
That should like those dangerous things. Those should be definitely legal. But stuff like weed, that arguably doesn't really harm you in any way. Like here's the thing: it only harms you when really your brain is not fully grown. So I say, make it when you're 21, then you
18.
can legally buy it. Well, yeah, 18, 21. There's some depending on the state you are in. In my state, probably 18 because my state has less regulation.
Which drug you was going for, it should factor by age.
Yeah, that's for sure. But
maybe the more fatal ones, or the ones with a higher chance of fatality, would be you'd have to be a bit older so you know that you're taking.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's safely.
So, in that case of you had to then fill out papers and whatnot. So actually, a liability form and things like that to say, if I die from taking this,
I can't
responsible
sue.
for doing it.
Yeah, if I die, I can't sue.
Well, yeah, because you're doing it. It's like think of it this way: if you bought a gun and you shot yourself, someone wouldn't be able to sue the fucking the company that made the gun.
I mean, in a sense that you could, because the weapon might have malfunctioned.
I meant like like if it was shown they deliberately put it in their mouth, fucking pop the trigger.
Well, obviously you need an investigation.
Well, that would just be more of a suicide attempt then.
Yeah. Not a suicide attempt, a successful suicide. Right about boom pow.
Pow, 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 reload, pow.
No.
Because, I mean, suicide attempts can lead to usually very fatal things.
Yeah.
Yeah, such as someone dying.
I mean, you can shoot yourself and there is a chance of you still living.
Yeah, it's very rare, but it can happen.
Great impairment, or sometimes you can get away by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
But, things like that can, you try it and, it'll greatly fuck your life up. And it's more of your blame because, you tried it. You thought it was a good idea to.
True.
But then people would be like, oh, but that's not nice to people who's done it. But think about it. I'm going to be completely cruel and honest here.
Yeah. Do it.
Brutally honest is fine by me. I mean, I'm that guy.
Right. If you was going to try and kill yourself, right, use something which wouldn't harm you in the way of your face or anything, because then, you're relevant, your family and whatnot can still see you at the open casket funeral.
If you have an open casket funeral, that is.
Which
most people do.
Yeah, in that sense of... Because if you shoot yourself, you're going to end up having a closed one.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Your body's going to be so effed up no matter what you do with a gun.
You're just going to be toasted. That's it.
Yeah. Roasted and toasted.
Motherfucker, you're just going to be blasted. That's what...
You're going to be looking clapped.
This 44 about to go off.
I was about to say, look at the other people as well when they'd shoot themselves, but in a place where it isn't as fatal.
Yeah.
And then
it's
wonder,
still awful.
And then wonder why. They'd be looking back, they'd get reconstructive surgery and go, I shouldn't have done that. And then you go...
I know. One of the most common places to shoot yourself as a gag or just on accident is in the foot. And that still fucks you up.
It does.
I think near the toe region is where you have the highest likelihood of not fucking much up, but still to fuck up.
You won't be able to walk stable because your big toes would help you balance. And the same
it depends on where you shoot your foot though. That's what I mean.
I'm drift.
Now this has become an ASMR channel. We're listening to an Xbox controller.
Wait, you guys can hear that?
Okay, but it brings us to you remember back in the day where
hell yeah,
you'd be playing well, speaking of which, the Rockstar launchers came out.
Oh yeah, it's a new thing.
You can get you get a free copy of San Andreas.
Oh yes.
If you was to, it's limited time only. Don't know when, but it should still be live when this podcast comes up tomorrow, which would be on a Monday. So hop over there if you want to get a free copy of San Andreas.
Okay, what most people argue to be the best GTA game made, but
I like San Andreas. But I want something different for the next GTA installment.
Same.
I don't want 3 storylines. Or you can do 3 storylines, but give us a different timeline to work with.
Personally,
I want something like
I don't want the multiplayer to get so fucking boring and full of sweaty tryhards that will just use a Pegasus vehicle and just murder everyone. That's
or everyone's like gone the more hardcore route and go, okay, I'm gonna get a jet and I'm gonna max it out, and now I'm gonna paint it chrome so it's virtually impossible to see.
It is cancer. And it's just like when I play GTA 5, I just want to have fun. That's really what I want. I just want to fuck around with my friends and just do stupid shit. I don't want to be blown up by a jet on people who are doing jobs. That's not what I want.
You know, you got the people who are doing jobs who are minding their own business, and you got some fucking really try-hard kid who would like consistently fucking hunt them down.
And you got the
for what personal gain? Because you'd end up losing money in the same time.
Yeah, you lose money if you destroy someone's car.
It's literally just for the fact of it's just because they know they're cancer and they want to keep being fucking cancer.
They want angry messages.
Because no, here's the thing. Those people, they're self-aware that they're assholes. They're self-aware. They know that they're pieces of shit.
But you think their family knows
They just like being pieces of shit.
Or do you think they're like a really hardcore mama's boy? Like, after he gets... Devin, come down, your dinner's ready. Okay, mummy. Goes down the fucking stairs. Mummy, I had a good day at school. Like, he's a real hardcore mama's boy, but as soon as he's on that computer, fuck you. Your mama sucks dick. It's like, oh, I don't think his mum would be happy if he heard that.
Yep.
You know, as a matter of fact.
Isn't it bedtime for you?
Yeah, and then one of them would clap back at him, and then he'd get really fucking offended that, like, they brung up his mum, like, how dare you bring my mother into this? And it's like, mate, you fucking did yourself, you fucking twat.
This is the funniest thing. Okay, this happened 2 weeks ago with my friend Derek when we were on Xbox. So we were on GTA. We were like basically, minding our own business, doing jobs, just fucking around, that type of stuff. And then we see this guy with the dunce cap. And for any of you people in the comments, if you don't know what the dunce cap means, it basically means you're a hacker or
it means you're a bad sport, but you kill people constantly. You get put in the bad sport pool.
It's mostly destroying people's cars.
Yeah.
And that was it. And also, you get put into the bad sport lobby if you get duping your cars and abusing the cell system.
Yeah, basically. So this guy continually fucking killed us. He's on an oppressor Mark II. We destroy it. No, and this guy, you could tell. This is the greatest thing. The funniest thing I love is the fact that if they're using a credit card and buying shark cards, because the only time they're good is when they have their oppressor. Because this guy, when he lost his oppressor, we just kept destroying him. But once he got his oppressor back, he was flying around and basically evading shots and everything, and basically being a pussy. But then again, once we destroyed his oppressor, we destroyed him. So I messaged him and I'm like, "Where'd you get the dunce cap?" And he's like, "Your mom." And the fact is, we knew he was hacking. We knew he was hacking, and he found out because right after that, when we were about to report him, he left, so we couldn't fucking do anything. And me and Derek were just here laughing our asses off.
How do you hack on Xbox One?
I'm thinking what he's referencing is he's just bought a modded account from 360.
Yeah. He bought. He probably had a mod account because he was like a rank 800 and something, or like 900 and something.
I mean, considering the game's been out since 2013.
Yeah,
it's pretty expectable to see people for like level 500 plus now.
Well,
up to the low thousands at least, because you got some really fucking like. Okay, I can understand playing GTA every update, like a lot, but then there's times where you just draw a line and go, I just can't play this game anymore.
Yeah, it's the point of where you're just like, I'm so bored. I just want to play something else. That's personally why
You play it every time a new update comes out, and it's pretty much the same with sometimes racing games as well. Because I want to get into this, because I saw a fucking add-on Wish the other day, which really pissed me off. It was one of those. It was one of those controller add-ons, but it was a little tiny steering wheel.
Oh my god!
Shut up!
And look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Why?
I just can't get my head around the idea of that. What if it's because it has to rely off sitting off both sticks for stability and things like that.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't really simulate a true wheel as well. If you're playing a racing game, it's more anticipated than your traditional, slowly turn the wheel this way. What if it's, it's quick turns and things like that? Then
is it even the size of a normal add-on racing wheel for PC? Is it even the
tiny.
normal size? Yeah, what's the point of having a wheel if it's tinier than that when you have to use your fingers instead of your actual hand? It's there's no point.
It is really against the ergonomics of the controller as well, with your controller. It sits comfortably in your hand. With this, you're holding it pretty much like where the assignment of the PlayStation thumbsticks would end up being.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to apply very limited force, because, unless you have your hands really, weird, then you can turn it maybe 90 degrees or so. But where your hands are naturally resting, you would end up going to maybe 30 to 40 degrees each way.
Yeah, it's the point of you got a racing game on console. You should know that you're gonna use your joystick on your controller. You should know that.
And the thing is, with Wish, they're selling them. They're these little controller add-ons for turn them into a little wheel, for
$3. Yeah. Crazy, stupid low amounts.
The thing is, as well, this completely sits over your main handful of buttons to control menus and things.
Yeah.
Car. So you sacrifice a lot of things.
It's if you really want to have a wheel to play on console, just buy a wheel and make it be able to make it Bluetooth so you connect it to your console and make it work with the console that you're doing.
They used to do wireless wheels back in the day, but obviously, it became an issue because you'd have to either keep it plugged into mains.
It'd probably be better now just because, technological advancement.
Most racing setups, and I can assure you this, most wheels are wired because of input and input lag.
Yeah, input lag, that's the most important thing for most people.
Yeah, input lag.
And especially with really high quality wheels, where they
especially with wheels, because it's supposed to simulate a car wheel, and it's not got the fucking pinion like an actual car wheel. So you're gonna have a lot of input lag. You need a lot of stuff to be working in order to be able to simulate that.
The thing is, as well, the main reason why I wanted to go into Wish as well is because how they sell some really stupid shit half of the time.
They do. I don't even.
There's sometimes you can get some really good luck and purchase, get a really good purchase for a couple of bucks. But then, it might be really worthwhile for the time, but it might break because of the fact that it's so useless.
Yeah.
Someone I speak to, they bought a shirt from there, and it's just animal hair magnet, really.
Lynch shirt.
Yeah, and I was like, that's when it's shit. So you try out, and then some dude bought a dildo from me, and he was like, it's okay.
But don't buy anything from Wish.
And I said,
don't buy anything
from Wish. And I said this.
Just don't buy anything from Wish.
And I said this to him, right? What you've just put inside you may actually be harmful for your body, because the fact of this site doesn't say, it's free from these. This is safe to put inside.
At least on
I shit you not.
It would say if it's safe
for $15, right? You can go on Amazon and buy a traditional dildo for $15. And for a matter of fact that over 15,000 people have purchased it and left a review on it to say, okay, it's good. For $15,
I'm not going to get AIDS,
shipping, you don't get any serious illness because of the fact of it wasn't made properly. your body might be allergic to the rubbers or materials they use, and it's, because it's reviewed really well, for a matter of fact that people enjoy it and it's safe.
True.
Yeah.
Whereas if you was to buy it off of Wish, yeah, granted that you might spend $5 to $20 on it, excluding shipping. Sometimes they'll throw in some like stupid like extra $10 shipping.
Yeah.
So for that fact, you might as well just go on to Amazon and buy something yourself, because on Amazon, for a matter of fact, it's going to be safer for you. You're going to probably enjoy it more, and it's gonna actually be worth your money. Because that's the other thing, you got all these fantasy toy shops and things, right?
Yeah.
And people buy one and go, I didn't like it, and I go, you spent $150+ on something you've never gonna tried. It would have been more respectable if they had tried something before with anal or something along the lines of that. Before, like, I don't understand some people's thought process when they go, oh, I'm first time or some shit like that, and then they'd go into Bad Dragon, like a fantasy toy shop, and go, I want that one. You shouldn't do that. You need to, your body's a temple. You
need to get used to it.
And not just that, but you might not fucking like it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fact of buy something that's not super.
Buy something was cheap, but not cheap.
Don't make
buy something which is like, a starter kit. Not even a starter kit for Amazon, because then if you don't like it, then it's not like a huge setback. You only spent $15 to $20 on it. You go, okay, that's not much of a big problem. And you got people like, I want to get this on it. They go on a fantasy toy shop. They go, okay, I want this, and I want it this size, right? And then they'd wait, 6 months or whatever it fucking is to, get it built or whatever.
Yeah.
They'd send it out, and then they'd try it and go, I don't like it. I don't like the feeling of it, or something along the lines of that. And then for a matter of fact, then you've just spent $300 plus shipping on something which is now just going to sit as a mantelpiece or sit in your cupboard.
Yeah,
for someone to find.
It's the simple logic of don't impulse buy. Like, know what you're gonna buy, or at least know that you like it. Like, I'm not like with your example with dildos. It's like, don't buy the most expensive thing. Like, buy something cheap, but make sure it's not going to give you AIDS.
That system of, if you're new to the concept or you're new to trying it out, don't spend a shit ton of money going, I want to buy the best one there is from this toy shop. What's fantasy? Yeah, you can, but granted, you're gambling a shit ton of money for something what could be, in turn, good. But also, if you don't like it, you've just spent $300-400 or something amongst the likes of that on something. You won't be able to get that refunded.
And of course, there's always the people that would make the argument, but I could just sell it back. Well, you already used it, so
there is actually a Reddit
the thing plummet.
That's
going to make the thing plummet.
Yeah, there is actually a Reddit out there which is for used toys. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't like the idea of.
Me too.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think of it as that's being inside someone else.
There's too many risks involved. I understand the premise, but there's just too many risks involved, and just logically, I don't find it good.
That's being inside someone else.
Yeah, you don't know what that
someone else
tried.
Has. Someone might have tried it. They've cleaned it off and things, but for all we know, that this is a defective thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have a crease in it wherever you sit down on it or whatever.
It pinch your bum hole.
Then it bends the way it's not supposed to. Something like that. What's the point? If I don't understand when you'd have an entire place dedicated to secondhand sex toys, that's when I'll just say discard it or give it to someone who would probably like it more.
Or better yet, just recycle it, because most of them are silicone. You can just melt it down and make something else. if anything.
The thing is, they're usually made with different types, obviously.
They're usually, it's a mix.
Straight.
It's usually a mix. I understand that, but I'm talking about like the bare bones ones that are like rubber or silicone, like that type of, like the bare bone ones.
Yeah, but then they would usually have different subsidiaries because people are allergic to rubber.
Yeah. Also, because rubber isn't the most sanitary, silicone is usually more sanitary than rubber.
And like I say again, like if you're a first timer to anything, buy something which is cheap but yet good in ratings.
Yeah,
you can buy
kit thing.
Yeah, like you can buy like a small medium-ish, 5+ inch or some shit like that, right? And 5 through 7.
Like let's say let's use this
you can
example.
acclimatize or you can try it out, right? And then go, okay, I've only spent $10-15 on this. This isn't actually bad. You might enjoy it or you might not. And there you go. You might like the feeling or you might not. You might just not enjoy it whatsoever.
I got a perfect example. When I started flipping balisong/butterfly knives, the first one I ever bought was an $11 one off of Amazon that had good ratings because of the price, and it also flipped well because it wasn't super loose or super tight, and it didn't need lubing or Loctite or anything, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I used it a lot, so I bought a good Benchmade one right after.
That's what I mean.
Like,
the thing is, enjoyment can be found if you spend a tiny bit of money at first to buy something cheap but really, noticeable. The same thing can even go with like plush toys or even like body pillows for that fact.
Anything.
Pretty much, yeah. Look at like a cheap burner laptop or something like that. High ratings, good usage, and then before you know it, you've got a really high-end laptop which can help you do your work whilst you're out and about. Things like that. Even mini fridges, for fuck's sake. This premise fits on everything.
It's pretty much everything. It's like another thing is like people when they buy their first fucking car, like when they're 16, usually like their parents will buy the car for them.
Beater car.
And they buy the most fucking expensive high-tech fucking shit they can. It
depends because some people are lucky.
I know, but still, like a car is literally the worst investment you can make because all you'll do is lose money on it. You will never really ever gain money off it. You will always really lose money.
This is where most people usually forget as well. But think of the insurance as well. The more faster or more powerful that car is, the more they're going to charge you. So he's got a fast car. It's just going to be really fast. And then
depends on age and history too.
Here's the thing. The main factors for insurance on how old the driver is and how old the car is. If you're like a brand like 16 years old, just got your license, and you have like a 2019 something, the insurance is going to be insanely high. But let's say
not really. I'm depending because sometimes you can actually get really low insurance rate because the power on the car is low.
Yeah,
most of them go by the year. Most of them go by the year.
Not really. I mean, they usually go by engine size.
Well, the ones here most.
I remember my dad's car.
Also.
Like, so in that sense of, they would only go by engine CC, which is understandable, but you would expect it to go by horsepower or something, because that's a bit more easy to gauge, but I don't really care about that.
But also, they do go by year in some instances because of resale value, stuff like that. Like how much you can sell it for.
I mean, that's if you go with like probably a really retarded fucking insurance provider, because there is shit tons of insurance providers out there, really big name ones as well.
Yeah, there's also really good ones too.
Yeah,
you have to find what you want and what's good for you, and especially the ones that provide the best deals, and also ones that are just trying to hoard in money.
Ones will actually do complete coverage as well, because if it's going to be your first car, you might skip a bit out in your car and go, okay, I want it to be a bit cheaper, but I want to have full coverage. Oh yeah, your car's a bit ropey. Yeah, it's better to have full coverage because in the case of, oh wow, look at that, it gives up on you when you're driving.
Or someone T-boned you, or someone T-boned you, or something like that. You're gonna want coverage.
Then you actually have things to get repaired. Something happens, you're covered.
It's your get out of shit creek card. It's the paddle you get when you're in shit creek. It's the paddle you get when you're up shit creek.
Yeah.
Okay, you said that 3 times.
Yeah, you didn't have to repeat.
You know what? Fuck it, I'll repeat it.
Jesus Christ.
Here for more dramatic effect.
No, it's just annoying. It's very annoying.
I was gonna say, saying it twice to rephrase yourself makes sense, but a third time was just a bit over the top.
I mean, I had technically read. I fucked it up the first 2 times.
So it seems like you can't go a sentence without stuttering or saying alike, and it's super. I honestly can't stand it.
You know what? I think too quick for myself. I think too quick, and I can't keep up with it.
Think while Hale's talking, then.
Yeah, I was just like, remember, you can always slow down. There's always that. Doesn't take
I'm
much
just in a rush.
Well, I mean,
I'm just in a rush.
There's no point rushing, because if you're rushing a podcast, what are you going to really achieve?
Nothing.
Depression, sadness. Is that what you really want in life?
You said when you...
Feeling incomplete.
Dying.
A feeling of isolation that you can never escape. Like you're in a bottomless pit and you'll never get out.
That's just called depression.
Yeah, I know.
Groups be like, yep, that's depression.
Yep.
Be like,
You know, the thing I don't understand is when, like, you know, you have like a group chat.
Yeah.
And then it's solely for your friends. Then when your friends get a girlfriend, right, or some shit like that. And so you're having, you know, all these funny jokes, and then you see like Phil add, you know, Shanice to the chat, and then you're like, well, boys, pack up. Can't say funny shit now. We've got someone who can get offended.
Oh yeah.
I truly hate those people. The ones that will just. It's like, what are you achieving by getting offended? What are you achieving? I mean, you're just being ignorant.
What's your main goal by adding your partner to a group chat of your friends if they aren't already like a friend circle of it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, it would be understandable if, you know, if that woman was in the group, you know, your friend circle before, and she was in there. That's a bit understandable. But, you know, oh yeah, fuck that woman. She's pretty hot, ain't she? And,
it's
then
like
you as a joke would be like, oh yeah, and then like you would add your girlfriend to the chat or something.
Then she'd see it and be like,
why'd you say that? Are you cheating on me? And you're like, shut the fuck up.
It's like, it would all end badly and they'd break up.
It's like with me whenever I try to expand.
Imagine, like, right, you run a community page or 2 pages, right, which post content, all right?
Whoa, content?
And you're from 2 different parts of the world, right? All you do is repost art of people's characters and shit, right? So these 2 people from across the fucking globe, right? One from, like, a pretty poor place still in the world, and one that should actually just be deleted from the world, the Netherlands. Right? So you get into this really happy relationship. You'll be dating for like almost 11 months, and everything's all smooth sailing. But actually, you speak to one of your best admins in a server to go, I want you to tell him that I'm not interested in him anymore.
Yep. Fuck you.
What the fuck? You want someone to be the middleman, to be if you're going to break up, at least have the balls to do it yourself and not rely on someone else.
Yeah, it's like you wanted to break up, which, to be honest, takes some type of balls, because like you have to decide that, you know, you don't like you have to go through the thought process.
Yeah.
So it's the fact of, if you're gonna go through with it, go through with it. Don't half-ass and try and pull someone into it just because you're too fucking, just because you don't have the balls and you're too fucking, you know, just because you can't do it. It's like, fuck you. Because if anything, the middleman doesn't benefit at all. All that happens is it gets pulled into drama and his time gets wasted and it just pisses him off. That's basically what just happens.
You know how you'd always have that one ex about on your like Instagram.
Yep.
You know, you keep her around because, you know, you actually see her as a friend. And she's pretty nice all the time, right? So one day she's asking, oh, guys, can I have your public opinion on how I look today? So you go, yeah, you actually look quite okay. To then get a huge fucking monologue back from him about how you shouldn't talk to him.
And then you
know what the thing I truly hate is, because this happened with This only happened with one of my exes, only one, and I'm glad it only happened with one, because if it happened with another, I probably would have just I would have fucking flipped, because the first time was pissed me off enough. It's the fact of, okay, so
No, hold on.
while me
So I replied to it, and that monologue I got was just, please stop messaging me. I don't want to be an arse, but it's been a while, right? But if I was to scroll up this chat, I've been able to have like actual human chats with this person, right?
yeah
So I just say something nice to him, right? Considering I am in a relationship with someone, right?
Yes.
So, and then all I replied with, after they said that, was just, that's understandable. And then it was like, oh yeah, please don't ever bring up the past of us. It makes me feel sick and makes me feel ill to think about what you've done. I was so young, and I just don't. So just don't, okay? I don't know. Please don't ever contact me or have anything to do with me. Well, you don't listen to this, you fucking twat. So, fuck you.
So the thing is, this happened to me
But
once,
the plot
and like I
thickens,
said, I'm glad
right?
I only have.
A day
I
after,
keep
I
going.
wake up and I get a message request, and it's still sitting in my message request because what's the fucking point? And then they were like, I'm her best friend. Basically, that's when you know it's a bad fucking thing. When you describe something or you want to actually just, talk to someone, you don't go, okay, so basically, that's not how
And monkey.
if you bring something up to someone, you don't go, basically, you'd be like, personally, something like that. You want to actually initiate a conversation so you don't sound like a twat like this person fucking did.
Yep.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm her best friend. Basically, I'm saying her because that just makes sense instead of including their real name, unless I really wanted to.
Yeah.
If they pull some petty shit. Hi, I'm her best mate. Basically, I realize I still can't get over the fact of use basically.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm her
So
best
rude. What the fuck?
I realize that you might still like her, and she's moved on. Him, get over it. She's found. Okay, I'm just reading this how it is. This isn't like shitting. This is shit English right here. But she's moved on him, get over it. She's found someone better that actually treats her right instead of you, who treated her like shit and asked for photos 24/7. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah, I
Did
get that.
did you not get the hint when when you called her thick a while ago, and she said, "Don't say that," and you continue to message her? Honestly, did you get it? Honestly. You just need to move on because she's certainly moved on from you. And most important of all, if if she did send pictures, then I do not share with her. Okay, English. Do not dare share them anywhere because I wouldn't if I were you. This person, might I add as well, the one what's trying to act all balls, is 13.
LOL.
They're 13.
Okay, actually, Halo, that exact same thing happened to me.
I'm
about,
pretty
like,
sure
a
is
week ago.
17 or 16, right? But the thing is,
Damn.
right, me calling her thick was like a good year and 5 months ago at least.
Yeah.
1 year and 5 months. And so, and they apparently, as Elliot saw it, he actually started talking to him. And he was like, I'd much rather you not harass my boyfriend. Oh, let me just quickly open it. It's quite fun.
Yeah, he's gonna pull out the Yappers.
Yeah, if they fucking hear this, well, fuck you for being just invasive cunts. You want to threaten me, and I'll fucking ruin your legs.
So Halo, I'm not gonna say I did. I almost went through that. So here's what happened.
I didn't finish what I was saying. Okay.
All right. No, go on.
So Elliot messaged him. I'd much prefer if you didn't harass my boyfriend. And then she replied with, I'd much prefer if your boyfriend didn't call my best friend thick. Now, again, like I say, I said that as a joke a year and a half ago. A year and a fucking half ago. It's called get up and grow up over things, right?
Yeah.
And Elliot then replies, maybe he was joking. These messages were probably from over a year ago, which they were, and it made sense. She then replied, he doesn't leave her alone. He messages her all the time. The last time I messaged her was over 2 months ago, I'm pretty sure.
At that time? Or from right now?
From, like, right now. From the all the time. I think the fuck not. I've got things to do in my life, and if I had anything intentional to do, I'd probably have gone, I've grown up of you, because I don't like you anyway. And then that's when Elliot replied, maybe he's just being nice. Just because he's an ex of hers doesn't mean he's going to treat her like shit. Well, she told him not to, and he continued so. The only thing... she got a bit triggered over when I called her thick. That was it. She didn't say stop messaging me or don't ever talk to me. She had the option to block and unfollow at any given time. Or even hide stories as well. Right?
Yeah.
And then, so she was like, well, she told him not to, and he continued. So Elliot then replied, she could have just said, stop talking to me. And then she said she didn't, continued. Again, this is wrong, because in no given time did she say that. To which Elliot then followed up with, she had the option to block at any time or hide stories from him. Then she said she blocked him. And then Elliot then followed up with, if she felt uncomfortable at any given time, she could have blocked him months ago. To which then she was like, she tried. And then this is the best part. He just said, what's stopping her?
Yeah, what the fuck? What is stopping her?
It wouldn't let her.
Hitting one button is not difficult.
Apparently it wouldn't let her. She tried it.
Oh my god, that's bullshit.
And all the way, he just said, okay. She was like, exactly. And he just followed up with, is there anything left to discuss? And then she said, no. N-E-R. No. What the fuck does that retard?
Visco shit. TikTok shit.
Elliot just came back with just saying, okay, with a fucking full stop at the end. Now, I say personally, right, if you're going to at least try and fucking act ballsy, do realize that I could probably kill them. They're 13.
Get your Finnish friends on them.
I've got my Finnish boys who are fucking crazy.
Yes.
My boys in Eastern Europe and Europe in general. These motherfuckers can kill people if they wanted to.
Me, like and then there's me. I got my...
Right, these kids live a good fucking fair, maybe hour and... Well, not even hour. Hold on, let me actually just quickly search this to make sure I'm saying this right.
Then there's me with my redneck friends who will kill anyone.
They're 4 hours away. Do you think it would be worth someone to drive 4 hours to my house to then just get beaten senselessly? Think about it. And not just that, but think of how I'd have home field advantage.
Yeah.
If you was going to fight someone, you would go, okay, meet me here.
You wouldn't go to where they know the land. I mean, they know what to do. If you're going to
fight somewhere, you'd fight at a place which you'd both be foreign to, because then you don't have an advantage over one another.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, oh, don't share, if you did send pictures, or if you ever bring her up again, I wouldn't if I were you. What, you're fucking 13.
What are you going to do? What can you do to me?
4 hours away. Not just that, but considering what they said is a threat, can also be persistent to its own legal case.
Yeah, it can.
So if anything could happen and someone did turn up, they
would be in really hot water. They would be in really fucking hot water.
Like, if you're gonna at least try and be threatening, do it face to face.
Instagram DMs.
Yeah. Don't pull up to my fucking Instagram DMs and be like, oh, yeah, I want to follow you. You're fucking 13. You're bringing up shit from over a year and a half ago to 3+ years ago. Do you think I care?
The point of it's irrelevant. I have a life. A much better one than you.
I have right?
Yeah.
Which means I've clearly fucking moved on. I mean, she was a bit of a fucking retard anyway.
She didn't realize that when Elliot messaged her and said, "Don't bother my boyfriend." Like the fuck?
It even says in his fucking profile, my fucking act. Right? And I was like, if I wasn't moving on, right? If I wasn't moving on, would I be with Elliot then? No. Because clearly, if I wasn't moving on and I was so dead set on picking someone up, clearly I'd go, I don't need this person, because they're in the, instructed me in my pursuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, which I would say she's a pretty fucking retard anyway. to be honest with you.
Facts. Big facts.
Actually, scratch out pretty ugly.
Oof. Shit on.
I mean, look,
Fucking
there's
roasted,
so
bro.
much of like a Harry Potter fan I can take, but like
no.
consistently going to a same fucking fucking convention, or I'm just gonna dress up as a gentleman cosplay or someone else. Oh yeah, fuck off. Oh wow, look at that. Got a fucking signed fucking replica one. Okay, yeah, I know where that's fucking been.
Up thy
And
ass.
fucking puncture your throat with it. So it's
True.
like, what's the fucking point? What gain do you think you're gonna get from just threatening someone online?
Nothing.
Who has more
Literally does
intent-
absolutely nothing.
And think about as well, if they did put anyone on the line in danger as well, they're legally accountable for what they do.
that too. The internet doesn't mean you're safe from legality.
Yeah, not just that, but especially when your full name is included. If you're gonna chat shit, at least use a different account. Because I can see their full name with my own fucking eyes.
It's the point of.
But it's funnier. It's funnier when they even include the school they go to. So you've got a retarded
it's so
name,
bad.
school
It's
name.
so fucking bad.
It only takes a couple of Google searches, you know.
Oh, I found your address. Yeah, yeet.
It only takes a couple of phone calls with someone who's gonna go through with something like that, and then.
Not even that. You can even, oh, I found where you live, or I found where you're playing school.
Just dox them. Just pull a CNN and dox them.
Like
they dox
CNN, like deleting emails.
Yeah, no, I remember when they fucking doxed the kid, that one guy that made that video with Trump when he was in like WWE powerbombing, like basically a CEO, like a CNN icon. Right. And they went so ape shit. It was just comedic. Like the best thing about the
more
news these days is the fact that they had to change their entire description to entertainment instead of news. They had to change it to entertainment because even they know.
Because of the fact that they pulled that off and then went into legal wrong because they obviously exposed sensitive data, which is accountable for themselves.
Yeah.
And again, this is the thing. These kids, they're 13 and all that. They put their full name in their fucking Instagram and then add like a dot and an X at the end.
Like, pedophilia magnet.
What do you think if you add, my name's, for example, like Jessica 43 Jones or some shit like that, right? Or Jessica Jones .43. I hope you do know, right, that including your full name, if you aren't like an actual fucking adult, what are you doing?
But back to,
especially when you add your school in your fucking bio, someone can press your username and then go, oh, well, they go to that school and I now know their name. I wonder how you fucked up today and how someone's gonna end up in the forever box.
Yeah, it's the fact of, even if you're a stand-up person and you don't go out and just fuck with people, there's still going to be someone who is going to be insane enough to just go out for you, just to go out and find you. Like if you're 13, like, a pedophile might basically find out the school you go to and your real name. Quick Google search, address. Ooh, I'm going to go rape this person tonight.
Well, the other thing is, what most people don't seem to understand as well, is because they have their full name and their school in, all they need to do, right, is go to that school, go to the reception of the offices and go, hey, yeah, I want to know, I'm looking for this person. Is she in this school? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, there she is. They'd go, okay, here's the class or something, you'd go over there and, oh, wow, look at that. And then you go out the place or whatever. Now you know what she looks like face to face. So whenever they go out of the school,
and then you stalk them.
Yeah,
put a bullet in their head from 500 yards away.
That's where people don't realize, especially kids nowadays. It's always 13 and 14-year-olds, things like that. They seem to just forget that if you're gonna make an account, do something to protect a portion of your identity.
Yeah.
You don't need to say which fucking school you go to unless you're a really big popular person there, or you're known a good bit of the world.
Or if your account is private and only your friends can like basically see your account, that
you
type
can
of
see
stuff.
the bio if the account's
I know,
private.
but let's say no, not in the bio. I mean, but like let's say like you have your school like your stories or something like that, and your account's basically fucking private or something like.
But then anyone can reshare it and it's no longer private.
Yeah.
That's where, again, another security issue. Someone shares that story.
I'm assuming people have a good moral compass. Okay, god damn it.
No, remember, this is 13-year-olds we're talking about. Their moral compass is probably out their fucking arsehole because the fact that they don't know what is a moral decision.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I'm going to take a picture of my tits on Instagram for my friends. What's that? You've got none. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because you're 13. What's that? You just sent it to a 40-year-old man and you're getting it in exchange of money? That is illegal. What you're also doing is also illegal.
But
it's the thing with nowadays with technology and giving everyone a platform.
It's the fact of our technology, yes, innovation, it's always good and exciting, but there's always going to be the fact that one of these days we're going to get too far ahead of ourselves and we're not going to know what to do.
I think we need to kind of take a step back.
Like Terminator type shit, Skynet type shit. It's like one of the
that's
someday
more easier to control because we have weapons that can disable electrics and things.
Yeah, but that's still like one of these. I know, but still one of these days we're gonna trip over ourselves basically.
My main concern isn't that, but it's more of the public safety of people.
Yeah, that's always concerned too, because it's like the fact of it's so accessible now, and like especially a thing with Facebook, that fucking big ass thing. What was it 2016? Now it happened or some shit like that.
People's faces on cereal boxes.
It was basically all that shit. It's like that basically is, I think, a warning sign that we're getting too far ahead of ourselves, and that we're doing all this stuff, this amazing stuff that can really connect people, but we're doing it so quick that we don't have time to think it all through.
It's giving pedophiles as well,
Yeah.
Time to lure in people, but then again, this is again into your moral code and compass and things where kids are lacking. This is where I think kids should also learn to not talk as much shit online, because someone out there one day will turn up to their door and what's that? You're going to be beaten till you're nearly fucking dead.
Oof.
And then you'd be like, yeah, come to my house, and you'd give him your address, and maybe a day or two later, what's that?
They'll show up.
Why is he at the door? Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And it's a system of, some people would be like, chat shit, get hit. Chat shit, get banged as well. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I go by. That's what I go by.
It'll be a system of joint karma, really.
Yeah.
So what happens after it happens? You've just been beaten up because of the fact of, again, you're talking shit. Again, if you was to go down to a person's house, oh, I wouldn't if I were you. Maybe you should respect that you're coming down to someone's house, right? And remember, you're a child going to someone's house, which something may happen. Oh, there's this kid going to someone's house who's clearly older and has violent intent because his kid's like, I'm going to beat you up. Yeah. I don't think that kid's going to be walking alive.
It's the point of, with 13-year-olds, it's impulse. It's by impulse. They don't think everything through all the way, and that's not their fault. Immaturity, their brains are fully developed. That's just especially a normal phase. It's the fact of, one of my teachers basically talked about it, and he was like, it's a ping pong mentality where you don't think anything bad can happen to you. You think you're basically immune from everything. It's that type of mentality that mainly just causes people to be reckless.
But the thing is, like, if you're a 13-year-old girl talking to a guy who's nearly a fucking adult, right? or amongst the lines. Oh, I wouldn't if I were you. I would actually think that you should stop, take a minute to look back at what you just said and go, I should retract that statement before serious violence or possible severe injury or death may occur.
Hey, I'll be right back. Just quick. I'll be right back. Quick. Yeah, bathroom.
Okay. But in that system, there's people who would, oh, I'm going to incite violence on this guy who's clearly older than me.
Yeah.
Because I'm young. But remember, because you're young, your bones are going to be weaker from the get-go.
Yeah.
They might heal quicker.
Yeah.
But again, if you get hit, or
there's long-term effects. There are always going to be long-term effects,
especially on parts that are critical. You hit the growth spurt right as you break a leg. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like I say, you go to someone's house, or you're gonna regret that. But then, for all you know, you're gonna go to their fucking house and get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, and anyway, backtracking because I was gonna get that one story in about fucking one of my exes. The thing that I hate the other most is, okay, so here's the thing. I'm not in this thing. I'm not saying that breaking up with people is a bad thing. If someone's not treating you right, you have the right to break up with them. We can easily both agree on that. But when I'm together with that person and I introduce them to a few friends, and after that even this isn't bad. They get together with one of the friends I introduce them to. That's perfectly fine as long as they're both happy. I keep being friends with all of them. But when they start telling me every message, thanks for showing me this amazing guy, and basically fully being an asshole about it, that's what pisses me off. Because one of my exes did that. She was like, okay, so I'm just gonna make it short and sweet, but we broke up. She got together with one of my friends. I stayed friends with her. But then she basically started saying, thank you for introducing me to this person. And I'm like, okay, you're welcome. The first time I was like, okay, you're welcome. You must be happy with them. The second time, thank you again for introducing me to this person. I'm like, you said it the first time. Now you're basically kind of making me feel like shit.
Back.
The third time, thank you for introducing me to this person. And it keeps going on and on to the point where I'm just like, shut up. I know what you're doing and you know what you're doing as well. Just shut the fuck up. And it's the point where I basically just walked out. I was like, fuck you. You're getting blocked. I ain't talking to you anymore. Fuck you. And it was just like, and that was one of the biggest relieves that I've really ever had, because it was literally just me saying, am I going to continue to fucking take this shit, or am I going to fucking, get the fuck out? And that's personally just what I hate the most out of what my exes really did in the end after. Because pretty much every one of my exes, they basically cheated on me, but they didn't talk to me, so I didn't have to deal with, their shit. But when they continually talk to me, and they basically are like, oh, thank you for introducing me to the person I'm with now, and they continually say that basically just to make you feel like shit, and just to make you feel like fucking nothing. It's just fucking retarded. It truly is.
But I think the worst thing is, you break up with someone, and then, you speak to him, you have him as a friend, and then,
which is most of the time what happened with me.
Yeah, like you have, you talk to them and things.
Yeah.
But then one of their friends come out of nowhere like, oh, you treated her like shit.
That actually happened with another one of my exes. So I broke up with her, right? And it was a very confusing breakup, because I don't really remember fully, because it was like the second ex I ever had. It was my second ex. It was really confusing and shit. Like, I barely remember, but like, we didn't know if it was a breakup or if, like, we were gonna get back. Yeah, we didn't know if it was a breakup or we were gonna like get back together soon, or we didn't know in the end it was a breakup. But one of her friends basically decides to follow me on Instagram. And I say it almost was the same thing as what happened to you. It wasn't the exact, it was almost. And I'm like, who are you? I saw that on their Instagram that they were followed by my ex. So part of me kind of knew, but I just wanted to make sure. They're like, oh, I'm a friend of her. And I'm like, okay, so what do you want?
Isn't a cognitive function. Yes, I can see that.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what do you want? No response, because I feel like in the end they kind of knew if they went through with, because I knew because on this person's, because I saw some of the DMs that my ex and this other, I don't know if there was a guy or girl, but this other person had. And it was basically like her kind of like hyping up for like, oh yeah, this guy treated me like shit. Go after him. And I feel like in the end he was like, I don't want to do this. So he just kind of he kind of just pussied out, which is also good because it would have saved him the trouble of me having to fucking, just me having to fucking Ben Shapiro's ass on what normal humans
what things also women
do.
Other people forget is that they have to cut people slack when they break up.
Yeah.
One good example is look at the people who actually go through a really suicidal time after a breakup.
Yeah, it's like even if someone hurts someone else, both people are hurt afterwards. It's not just like one person's benefiting from the breakup. They're both hurt for some. They are affected by the breakup. It's not like only one person's affected. No, they're both affected. So you can't just immediately. And that's what I truly hate. Like, because this is how I basically lost many of my friends, especially in middle school. Because I would break up with someone, and it was the first one I actually had. And they would continually bombard me. It basically stressed me out continuously to the point where I was like, all right, just fuck off, because it's like you gotta let me have my time to recuperate and to get back to normal.
You got the thoughts out there.
Yeah. Then you got the thoughts out there that just go from one guy to another.
2 weeks after a breakup, oh yeah, I found my new love in my life. Actually, I don't.
Oh my god, no.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Hey, how about this?
A few days.
I actually.
Oh, wait a minute. You've got AIDS now.
One of my friends. Okay, she's nice. She's a nice friend to have, but she's a horrible girlfriend to have. Because a couple days after we broke up, I don't know. She said it was because of distance, even though we lived 10 miles away from each other, which I don't understand that logic, but whatever. Yeah, I said the same thing. So
I mean, how far away was it?
10 miles away, and she said it was too distant. We were too distant. Yeah,
too distant, no motherfucker. You two could put in the effort by cycling 5 miles, or even taking a fucking bus.
And not even that, but
which both of you could meet.
Not even that, but it just shows that she
was really retarded.
Well, it just shows that she was basically paying retarded, but also shows that she just didn't want to fucking run a relationship. Because I've been in I've been in a relationship that was really across the country for about half a year, which was longer than that one was. No. She was in the States, halfway across the country. She was in the States.
At least it's not the Netherlands.
Yeah, at least it's not the Netherlands. That I would have to. I wouldn't politely decline. I would very rudely decline.
When you read a rudely, you just flat out just say fucking in caps, no.
But anyways, back to this. Okay, she was a good friend to have, but a horrible girlfriend to have. Literally, I.
You're rambling now.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll keep it short. I'm fucking serious. 2 days after we broke up, she's on her Instagram. On our Snapchat. She shows her with another guy saying, "I found the love of my life," and I commented, "Bruh." I just got
bruh.
That's all I did. I commented in all caps, "Bruh." And she has the audacity to put a question mark like she doesn't know because she knew it was me.
You should have just replied with bro again.
I did not reply with bro again, but what I did is I replied with have fun for the next week because that's how long it'll last. And guess what? It didn't last a week, but it lasted only about 2.5 weeks, so I was pretty much on the ball.
Damn.
And then she got with another one, and then I just stopped looking at her snap because, like I said, she is
really,
okay.
Actually, work on yourself.
Yeah, I'll cut her slack. She's a good friend to have. She's a caring friend to have, but she is a real shit girlfriend to have. Which some people are just like that.
She's gonna sleep with a dude, get AIDS, and that's it. It's game over for her.
It's not even the fact that it's not even that she's gonna sleep with a dude, get AIDS, and then break up with him, and then just go with a bunch of other dudes giving them AIDS.
Then she's gonna realize that she has AIDS, and that's it. She's done for.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's.
I mean, karma hits in the most like unexpected of ways, and especially with some really shitty people like that, you would hear them actually get like tale of AIDS, and it's like, well, look at that, you done fucked up.
We just go to just goes to
You
a
done
grave.
goofed.
Yeah, just goes to a grave and says, "You committed an oopsie," and then walks away.
You committed a fucky wucky. Now you're trapped in the forever box.
Now you're trapped 6 feet under while I'm jumping around up here.
Yo, we're gonna hit the default dance, you know.
Yeah, no, we hit the crab rave.
No, we're gonna crab rave on someone else's. I can't remember who did we say it was.
It starts with an S. I remember that. It starts with an S. Ooh, it starts with an S.
I mean, she's actually a pretty okay person.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
if you want, I can say her name. If you want, I can say her name. I remember. I definitely remember who. But
she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
She was. Yeah,
like
and
dead ass, a really nice fucking person. But then you just got had like these people from all around the fucking world being like complete nonces.
Yeah,
like
but
pretty genuine, sweet person, just in the wrong.
From what I saw,
a cruel fucking shit world.
From what I saw, she was really nice, and was mostly in the wrong place at the wrong time. But some things some things she had a hand in, especially with Instagram. Mostly, she did have a hand in some things, but mostly it was wrong place, wrong time. And to be honest, I kind of feel bad for her because, I feel bad for her because, so many people basically went against her, and for what reason? Because of the fact that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like,
I mean, all it was at the end of the day. And the funny thing is, they'll never say this because they always cover it up. Oh, your server got taken down because of racism. No, fucking did.
Yeah.
I was the one who gave you your fucking future by taking out your competitors, and this is how you fucking pay me? Is this how you fucking pay me? I gave you life, and I can give you death. Memento Mori, motherfucker. Memento Mori, November 27th, 2019.
It's basically just the fucking concept biting the hand that feeds you. Except instead of getting dropped off on the street, you get beaten to death. You literally get the shit beaten out of you.
Their future by taking out their rivals.
I
guaranteed them a future.
Yeah, you were their literal savior, and they fucking crucified you. They
nearly killed someone who I love oh so dearly. I'm not, all the other shit they've done, yeah, I've bad. But, that was the line what crossed it.
Yeah. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Like, for the entire nearly a year the server was around. Oh, wow, look at that. What's this? Petty drama.
Yeah,
oh, wow,
it was pretty much every single time. Every time.
When there wasn't a fight on Instagram, there's a fight in the server. Well, someone's got to fucking defuse. Oh, what's that?
I threw up because of my stress.
Guys. Oh,
for me, that was also me.
To me. Oh,
that was also me.
To me. And
I blew up all that.
Stop fucking interrupting people. Jesus Christ.
I'm just agreeing with you, bro.
Like,
calm the fuck down.
Of the server, all this like shit's happening. This is like now reaching maximum shit mountain. Huge crisis kicks off in the server because no one's actually got around to redoing the fucking roles for adults, communities, and shit like that. So what do they go and do? Oh, they make a huge public display about it, and someone who was underage and was publicly like fueling it even more was like, oh guys, I feel sick. Oh, I'm just gonna leave because it's a problem. Like, and then the next day, then you start talking mad shit to someone, like one of your like actual admins what gave you life. The guy who secured your server's existence. Like, if I wanted to, when those other rival servers happened, I could have just been an admin and I wouldn't have cared. And to be frankly honest with you, I probably would have made it better than their fucking server because I would have more of a mutual grasp between me and the fucking owner.
Yeah.
You see, unlike their server, which had the really big flaw, the co-owner and owner were together. And you see... Yeah, that created a huge bias from the get-go because of the fact of, oh wow, look at that. This person's account or this person's server was, ran by the co-owner and owner. They never actually gave admin, an actual fucking choice. Oh wow, look at that. So a fucking channel for promoting your own shit gets deleted. Nothing in staff chat.
Yeah.
Something
Another thing that
with an underage user texting or talking to an admin. Oh wow, instead of actually getting to a peaceful resolve, why don't we just fucking actually demote the admin for longer than 3 months and not fucking talk about it? Without talking to anyone. Oh, what's
all
that?
that
Someone
does,
goes through a
it's like
spot of shit in life and
all that does
they
is
obviously
destructive.
can't do shit, and all they say is, oh, I noticed you wasn't being a good enough admin because your adminism wasn't good enough. That's again another fucking nail in the coffin. You're only talking shit to people, right? They've got things what happen in their life, right? They, people die, people have illnesses, sudden illnesses, serious illnesses, right? People get pregnant, you might have to attend someone's wedding, there's things happen in real life which sometimes you have to account yourself for, and especially with some petty people who run servers who think about statistics over everything else.
Yeah. Remember the whole we need numbers thing where
don't
we didn't prune the server?
purge the users. Yeah, don't purge the users. We need it because the higher it is, the better it means. Not fucking really. I much prefer a community which is active. I don't care about the numbers. I want a community which is people. Oh, they can invite their friends if they want. I don't care about seeing that number go higher.
It's literally the argument of quality over quantity. That's literally just a representation of quality being better than quantity. Sure, you have big numbers. Wow, you have big numbers. But how about I kind of dig deep and I see that it's just full of shit. And that's the place is literally just shit. Oh, that place is discredited because again, that's quantity over quality, not the other way around, which it should be. The thing that pisses me off so much, especially with the thing that happened to you, Kelly, with the with a just
months ago, months and months ago.
Yeah. The thing is that's just sweeping it under the rug. When you just demote someone, that just sweeps it under the rug. Is that tackling the problem? No, that's just sweeping it under the rug. That's like
making it worse. They made it even worse. They made a huge deal about it, and they messed it up so much.
And
that's really
the thing
all
is,
that
they
does.
roped me into it.
It's like
people, like you create a problem by just going, instead of actually talking to Kaylee over it, instead what we're just going to do is we're going to ask his best friend, right? We're going to see what does he think about the entire situation, and it's be like, you're creating this problem,
it's like,
which I have to then resolve. I'm not your PR person. If I was the PR person, I'd probably tell you just to fuck off from the get-go because all you're doing is creating even a larger problem by coming to me. And can we also appreciate that there was 2 community moderators. I was one of them, right?
Same.
I think you got accidentally promoted and they never noticed. So they left you as an admin. No one really cared about it.
But because I was doing good and I was helping and I was improving and I was doing good.
And the really funny thing is, we get verification room, right?
Yeah.
I was the only person who had access for it for the entire fucking time because no one else. Before we even had the ability to fucking purge DMs, or not even DMs, purge chats, right? We couldn't do any of that. So the second community manager that was with me, if I had a fight with someone in suggestions, so they do what a community manager would do and clear up the fight. In the admin logs, however, it all shown up, and then he gets demoted out of the blue. And you see how that creates.
I mean, it's the fact of demoting someone because they're doing their job.
And not just that, but then that created a lot more of a problem with me. Because not just that, but that community manager, a friend now, right, was gone. And on top of that, during some of the night parts where everyone else was off, it was just me. I couldn't manage roles. I couldn't manage chats. I couldn't manage DMs. I couldn't manage.
You could delete messages. I remember what you said.
Single-handedly delete
You
messages.
could delete messages.
And nothing fucking else. I had access to staff chat, but what could I fucking do in staff chat?
Nothing.
I had to work my ass off to then ask them, can I have admin? Because I'm trying to fucking work on this place. And I actually helped them. And what do I get? What do I fucking get?
A lot of shit. And not just that, but you get the most stressful part of your you get the most stressful situation of your life. Someone that you love nearly dying because of their stupidity and because of the fact that their ego is so high up, and the fact of all that.
At this point as well, I was making content for my own, enjoyment.
You were busy. Their job was to let you know. Their job was to let you know what happened. You even said it yourself. If anything happens, let me know.
Just
you
quickly
told
railroading
them
just for a second.
They had one job.
For the times even before this, even as a community manager and admin, I, on sometimes of the week, I'd go and record a video. So obviously, I turn my Discord off because I don't want to get fucking mentioned all the time. Oh, this person's talking bad things about me. It's making me upset. Someone else is online. Let them deal with it. I have fucking things to make. Oh, what's that? I'm playing with my friends. I am not looking at the server. As soon as that went, right, as soon as I left and shit like that, I had more free time. I could make things what made me happy because I had the free time.
Yeah. Which is overall a advantageous thing to have. It's just like working on yourself. Like when I left my server to work on myself.
Podcast, right? And if it wasn't for, me leaving, I don't think this would be much more of an idea for me, right? I left. I said, okay, I've got a shit ton of free time. I'm going to return to the hub because I want to make things again. Yeah. And I want to, grow this out more. And as you see, here we are now.
Oh, yes.
But, the events were also led up to me leaving as well, was me nearly losing someone I care so much about. That was the nail in the coffin. That was just it. Like I said, no. What's the fucking point?
There is no point.
They're only just going to do what?
They're just going to keep fucking around and making your life miserable and stressful to the point where you don't do anything you like anymore. It's the point where you're so stressed out and you're so afraid of what they're going to do that you're going to not do anything you like. And the only thing you're going to be, using your time with is that.
And having to deal problems with their server. And
and it's the point of
draw a line of, friends of mine had issues, friends of mine, shit like that happens, right?
Yeah.
I take time off. What do I get? Oh, well, actually, I knew you was doing a bad job because your admin wasn't good enough. Oh, well, guess what? You saying that makes yourself sound like a self-centered piece of shit. I have people, I have people to talk to. I have my own life.
I have a life. I'm not just gonna put 100% of my time and life into your fucking server, which is already shit. You can manage your server. You do your own fucking job.
You can 100%.
It's your responsibility.
Because if this was my server, I probably would have got rid of them by now. Because all they do is just be a piece of shit. They'd just be all the time.
But going back to the thing about you leaving, it's like if you didn't leave, subconsciously you'd just be thinking, what are they going to do next? What are they going to do next? What are they going to do next? And that would stress you out to the point where you would just you would lose all sense of it doing anything else.
Yeah,
you'd have a mental. You would probably, if it were me, I would have probably had a mental breakdown at some point if that happened, because I'd be going through so much stress. I would have just fucking broke. I would have just fucking broke.
In that fucking hospital for 11 fucking days.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about that.
That's just it's sad,
and
because all it shows
irks me because of the fact of none of them specifically said, "Hey, you might, like, hey, come see this."
Tone it down, or better yet, they could have said, "Hey, stop being so hard on him. He's new here. He's obviously, just don't be hard on him. Just treat him."
He was in
golden rule. The golden
15 hours.
The golden fucking rule. The golden fucking rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's such a simple fucking rule.
I like the way no one actually fucking followed the rules either. Oh, well, look at that. I enforce the rules. What do I get? Oh, I don't know, fun. Or but that's hypocritical, ain't it? You're always talking and it's like, shut the fuck up. Actually, do your fucking job. I am the one who's fucking making this place a bit more fucking stable. And
I also like the fact
they done that server merge not too long ago, right before everything went to shit, or they partnered with another server, and that
was the last
complete god complex fucking joined and said, oh, actually, I can get you banned because I'm friends with the owner. To which now I've just looked like a little while ago, I think earlier today, I was just looking through, and their account's been deleted because they've also found out he was underage, along with his server getting axed.
The thing I like, the fact I love, is how you basically made the rules of that server, and they copied it and basically said that they made it. They basically took. It's like taking a patent and saying that's my patent, not yours. It's basically the point of
funny is, on that second server that they're all residing, right, as a small community server, right, those were a subsidiary of my rules, edited to be a bit short. Yeah. Now they're throwing a legal waiver on as well to say that
which is not possible. They need like an actual sort of external involvement, not just a bunch of words.
Yeah.
They need proof. You need proof that you were involved in that. You need proof that you're involved.
That you also need that signed. If you're an actual lawyer, hit us up. We can actually discuss this to actually see if this would make sense. But in that sense of you're talking in a group chat where, again, in your terms of service, you cannot really add much onto it unless you're an actual business of some sort where you need terms to work with.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm pretty sure they didn't even talk about much. If you was to look on every other big community server out there for either a game or a fandom or something like that,
anything,
they'll say respect the terms of service. They won't say by submitting this random thing, and you can't really say that you force them to surrender their legal rights, because I'm pretty sure that's not even how you're supposed to do it, because that's illegal in its own way, if I am correct.
Yeah, that is illegal in its own way.
Because it's not signed by anyone who is of legal power to make it official. All you're saying is that it's for nothing.
You can't just make up rules and expect them to be followed without someone in power jurisdicting them, or someone of power saying that is correct. You should follow that. It's like pretending to be a cop and saying this is what you need to do and this is what you can't do. It makes no sense, because no one's going to follow it. No one's going to take you seriously, even because they know all you want to do is just pull strings and shit like that.
I mean, look at if you're a server owner who thinks you're all balls and shit, when not really. You're breaking your own server rules, and you can expect to get away. Oh wow, look at that! You're posting porn in the safer work chat. Well, guess what?
General, even.
Sorry to tell you this, but
you can't.
It doesn't work like that. You should read your own rules, and you're breaking the terms of service. People don't look at them. You run a server, you build a server. You need to read them. They give you them. So, my account was banned. Well, did you read the terms of service and guidelines? Did you? Did you really?
No. I didn't know they had them. Like, that's half the people. They don't even know that there are terms of service on Discord, so they just do whatever the fuck they want, and then they're so like, oh, why did I get banned? I don't understand.
Yeah, and then they complain about how they got banned off Discord unjustly. It's like, motherfucker, as a user, as someone who skipped reading the terms of service and even reading the guidelines, you just pretty much shot yourself in the foot from that.
Yeah, and it's not even that, but it's like, do you honestly think that Discord is that low to just ban people randomly? Because these are their users. It's their ratings that they're hurting if they just start banning randomly, because then people will leave bad reviews, back it up by evidence, and be like...
The funnier thing is, to ban someone, you need actual evidence. They'll run it through.
You need that.
So if you have enough evidence to say, oh, this user done
like 6 pages, like 6 fucking pages of evidence.
Not even that. I mean, sometimes you can even get a message of them saying something like really jarring over a user or something amongst the likes of that, and then
Yeah.
or something like really like harassy to someone, or like not even that, but even just talking about how they would find someone or like raid their house,
A
or like
threat, yeah, like
something
a
like
threat.
that. Again,
Yeah.
that's against terms of service, and you shoot yourself in the leg because of it.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Halo, what is anything actually even happening in that server anymore? Because we haven't talked in a while and fucking caught up on that type of shit. If anything was
Fuck knows at
happening,
this point.
No idea.
I mean, I still remember the wheelchair when you when you got muted, Callie, but you could still post emotes.
Yeah.
That was fucking
Some
perfect.
people, that's the other thing, right? The admin selection they had. Oh wow! Look,
Is
they hide. Okay, this is how they done it back in the day. They just said, okay, apply.
Yeah.
Submit a small form. Okay, and again, they done a good selection, but they would have been better if they actually put them through trial mod. If you look at some of the bigger servers
Yeah,
again,
they have a trial mod role. And that's what the new
Yeah.
people have.
and I think some people, not naming names, but a very retarded person, the name is pretty retarded, accents on their name and things,
Yep. Yep.
they try
Yep.
and act all gangster in their French.
Absolutely. Oh my
Je
god.
parlais le
Yep.
français too.
Like, oh wow, look at that. Your son is a shark too? Oh, you think you're all cool? Well, fuck you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Just, well, fuck you.
It's the fact of
But
it's the
in that
fact of this
system,
is how it.
they, with trial mode, or even not even that, but just evaluating your actual users, you would have cut out some of the people who would have like gone really like go, actually no, that if you do this with this server, that's a bad idea, and you'd be like, why is it a bad idea? Because it is. Look at when everyone contested it against me because of the fact of the new verification system. It fucking worked, and it was a lot more successful than. Oh wow, my name is Bob. I am
Boop.
20 and I'm a man who's a fox.
It's
Wow, look at that.
going
Man, who's the fox?
going back to the admins thing. It's the fact
Like,
of
they
pick your
kept
admins.
contesting me about ideas what would actually fucking contribute with the server. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Character sheets it existed. People can share their characters. People can even see it without seeing the chat, which made it better as well because then it would be a funny name and shame if someone done something bad.
Yeah.
And it was actually a good system. People worked with it, but people then complained, but some people weren't using it. Well, did they fucking read the message they got added with?
No, of course not.
Like, fucking factor in this shit before like talking to me and contesting it. It's a good idea. It worked on paper. It worked when people done it. Oh, a handful of people didn't do it because you just didn't type in a fucking message. Well, that's their problem, isn't it?
It's going back to like the who you choose for an admin. It's the fact of you don't just choose anybody. You have to make sure that they actually can fucking do their job. I mean, I don't know how some Discord owners can't get that through their fucking head, especially the ones on quote unquote the two servers. One of them's gone now, but it's the fact of you don't pick admins based on their social status, such as if they're your friend. If
Or
I'm gonna
if you're
pick an admin,
apparently just like a really popular person from a, like,
yeah,
guys, I'm
yeah,
popular in this fandom. Oh wow,
yeah.
look at
It's
that.
the fact of
Fuck you.
yeah,
That's all I can say is
it's
just
the
fuck you. If you
yeah,
think you're
yeah,
popular and you get a seat in like some fucking server and you don't do shit and you say a
yeah.
message or two, oh guys, I'm on a
That's
business
just
trip. Fuck you. Why are you even in
also
the server?
if you use your popularity to try and gain an upper hand in like status in like especially of all things a Discord server, it just shows how self-conscious you are and how fucking low your self-esteem is.
Well,
Because it's
clearly you
the
must
fact
be
of you
single as
need
proof then.
yeah, it's the fact of I don't give a shit. I care if you're a good admin or not. I don't care if you're popular or not. I don't give a fuck. That's not even the point of being an admin. If
You
I
can
wanted
be
to,
like a fat man, like a fat, sad, lonely man, right?
you can
And
be
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give a fuck as long as you do your job and you're nice,
yeah,
right?
same
I
here.
don't care. Oh, I have over 20,000 followers on my Instagram furry page, and I have over 10,000 followers on my Fur Affinity page, and then on top of that,
Good.
I have
Fine. Good.
150,000 on my YouTube channel. Yeah, fuck off. I don't care. Those numbers mean nothing to me because I don't know how good of an admin you are. You might have ranked
same here.
Like, you can be really popular, really great admin. Good on you, right? But if you're like, oh, I'm very famous, I know what I'm doing, and you do it, and then they just delete a channel for no reason.
Yeah,
I deleted the channel. Okay, yeah, we needed that channel.
Why'd you delete it?
Oh,
that's what I ask him. First off, why'd you delete it?
And then they would also go to the name and shame because they have nothing else. They would run to the guys. Let's publicly name and shame someone again against most terms of service because you respect people's privacy and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's another shot foot.
For me, it's like if someone says they're popular, I'll be like, okay, good for you, but are you a good admin? No, but I'm popular. Good for you, but are you a good admin? Good for you, but are you a good admin? No, I've never been an admin before. Then why are you even qualifying? Why are you asking? At least have some experience.
Well, you need to start somewhere, yeah.
Well,
but you start like a smaller server to actually get.
That's
how I've managed to go through shit tons of indie servers to then go for a year on that shithole, right? And which I regret looking back at it. I wasted so much fucking time doing that. For
but
what?
Do you regret it? Huh? But do you regret it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I fucking do.
I mean,
because it was a waste of time.
I regret it as well. Me too. Because I mean, to be honest, I kind of regret because
because if run by a bunch of piss pots anyway.
Because for me, I wouldn't meet I wouldn't meet you and Callie, of course, and a bunch of other people that I'm not friends with. So that's one thing, part of it that I don't regret. But most of it I do regret, just for the fact that it stressed me out. Like you saw when I basically went fucking ape shit
because shit too.
Yeah, but you guys saw when I went ape shit on the fucking owners about not doing their fucking jobs and about
look at some of the people as well who got banned for just telling the truth.
That was me. That was me. I fucking got banned for saying your system is shit. Yeah, I know, not just me.
But a handful of other people got banned because they said the truth, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're controlling the voices which help your image grow.
That's only just totalitarianism. That's only just a fucking dictatorship, and 90% of the time, dictators are just fucking self-conscious, paranoid, and all that shit, which is really what the owners were because they couldn't handle criticism. I mean, if you can, it's the simple point of if you cannot handle criticism, then don't own a server. Don't own anything where a community of people can gather because you're gonna get criticism. You are never immune to it. So the best you can do is not ever get it by not doing anything with a community of people. It's the point of why make a Discord server in the first place if that's how you're going to run it? Why? Because you're really just wasting your time as well.
I mean, people, especially again with the being the popular person as well. Oh, you can be like the public face of the server. Cool beans. I don't give a fuck. But again, if you're going to try and boss people around and be like, I can get you banned because you said bad things to me, fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah, and even then, if someone's popular enough and they really want to roll, just make them like a mascot or something. Make them like something that shows they're popular. I don't know, just make them like a YouTuber role or some shit like that. Like you don't need to make them admin, but shit when they continually ask and they basically show that all. Yeah, that type of shit.
All you need to just say is, look, guys, I'm the cool kid. I'm the face of the server. Cool beans. Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what I think. Oh, guys, well, I've got this many followers on Fur Affinity. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? Give you a fucking medal?
Yeah.
So, what do you think is a moral gain out of telling people about I've got this many followers?
It just shows you're an egotistical, self-centered idiot. That's really all it shows, is that you're egotistical, you're self-centered, and that you don't care about really anyone but yourself. It shows that you get off to yourself, basically.
I mean, they probably do, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
They have that temperament of them actually. Someone, or not even someone. I mean, look at when some shit happened and like some dude took photos of their character, like printed out, right, and then had his. They reposted that image, right?
Oh yeah.
Again, that's pretty illegal for you to do that because you just shared more information, or you shared very personal information with the public. It's like, what drives you to do that? Oh, you have 2,000 watchers on your furry account. Okay, does that have any great significance? Are you a fucking big content creator? You like 10,000, 20,000 subscribers on YouTube? Are you? Or you just... Here's a picture of my character getting fucked by a wolf.
Do you make content, or do you pay people to make content for you?
Yeah,
like,
it's
we're making content right here, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all contributing. We're not paying people.
Yeah, we're just working each other.
Yeah, we're not paying people to do a podcast for us. I mean, we're not paying. I mean, you're not paying us.
Guys, I have 2,000 followers on the furry side. I think I'm superior to everyone. Fuck you. Die.
Yeah, it's the fact of if you honestly think that you're superior based on your
social status, and you're not.
Yeah, you're just a fucking idiot. You're just a fucking retarded cunt. That's all it shows, that you're a retarded fucking cunt. That's really all it's the fact of you're helping us out by telling us what you are, so we can expect what you're gonna do. Because if you tell me you're if you tell me you're a retard, I'm gonna expect you to be a retard.
But the funny thing is, they've created an entrance for us to also exploit. This entrance being, wow, look at that, guys. Because they're famous, that means we can get them to plug the server, and then when they're asleep or something, we can pull them out of the server for us, or shit tons of people come in, and then we completely slice all access. What they're gonna do then?
Yeah.
People forget that we have big brain moments. People forget.
Yeah, we have 2,000 IQ. They forget that we have 2,000 IQ moves.
It just makes no sense. You've got these people like they bring up their fame in almost everything. Oh, I can get rid of your server. I've got 20,000 followers on this. Okay, but do you actually have any?
What I've noticed with not just most furry servers, with pretty much any Discord server run by a dumbass admin, is the fact that it's so hard. Like, because think about it. What we're saying is pretty much common sense. You don't need to think it through. Some people might, but most people won't. And yet they can't fucking think it through or even think about it to begin with. Huh. Now, why are they in control of a server instead of the people like us who can actually think fucking through shit? Because let me tell you, Halo, if us three, if all the smart people in the Emporium, me, you, fucking, Callie, stuff like that, if we were the owners,
three smart people, to be frankly honest with you, I think everyone
if we were the owners, that place would be flourishing. That place would probably have.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you right there. As a matter of fact, we'd have just shot it in the fucking head and integrate to a different server because of the fact that we'd be like, well, this server's had too much fucking drama. Out of the fucking.
It's broken. It's broken beyond repair.
That's what I would have done, because the fact of I'd be like, this place is shit. We need a new place. Throw it out the fucking window. Because to be honest with you, it was going to happen. They always complained, or someone was always like, "Oh, well, it's not going to be a problem when the server gets deleted." And they're all like,
"With me,
is it going to get deleted?" And it's like, if you actually look through all the points that actually built up to the server,
with that server, from the beginning, it was going to happen, but it was just the fact of how much they could stall it. And the fact is, they didn't at all try and stall it. They sped it up, to be honest. Them basically merging with that.
Right? Even a normal human being, someone who just follows the terms, right? So before me, even before I done anything, right? Someone else could have joined the server and gone, Wow, look at that. So it looks like the server owner is underage. Or, you know, well, from what I'm guessing, the server owner acts like they're underage. Not just that, but look at that. They're always posting NSFW shit in fucking general, where they're also threatening users with those standard bullshit. Well, look at that. Fucking 3 big PCs. Throw that into a report, and that's it. Gone.
Yeah. There was so much that we did to help the server that was dismissed.
There was so much, and it's mainly the fact that you guys
that server.
It's mainly the fact. Mainly you guys were the people that did stuff, because like with me, yeah, sure, I would throw in a suggestion little bit, but mainly I was just on the sidelines watching, because I really had no power in the place, because I was just a member. I had no power. I couldn't do anything. But mainly it was the fact.
Person from the Netherlands never actually clicked with you, because apparently like they just hate you.
Oh, yeah, they hated me because I had the common sense to know that. About how the economy and politics works. See, I realized that we don't live in a perfect world. I realized that fucking Russia collapsed in 1991. They hit the factory reset button. I realized that. See, I can go on for hours, so I'm just gonna stop right here and let you guys talk, because I could go. I'm gonna go on for hours with that.
They not just that, but with you, they always, you said something, and they'd be like, actually, you're wrong on that.
Yeah,
and they like always force their fucking opinion on.
For me, yeah, and for me, like with us, I'll call us the smart people. With the smart people, we actually gave evidence. We were like, okay, this is my idea. This is how it's going to work, and this is why it works.
Was talking about and then by the government, right? Now, theoretically speaking, if we followed that, right? Things we would use for transgender people, like phalluses and penises for the skin graft as well.
Yeah.
Theoretically, your penis would be owned
by the government.
Yeah. Think about it. I'm right on that, and I'm not wrong on it, because the fact that it makes sense. Because some of them run by pumps, so that means someone has manufactured it so it can be attached. Because it's manufactured, it's owned by the government, right? So when it's attached to you, it's not a part of you, it's part of the government still, and you can't change it.
Yeah.
And I'm not wrong with that.
No, you're not. It's definitely a very true thing. It's definitely a thing of the past, that's for sure.
Yeah. To which then they was like, actually, no, it's wrong. And I'm like, you're wrong, because one, you're following the wrong ideology. Two, you're actually just being misleading yourself. Three, you're just not actually having enough brain power to comprehend the actual sense I'm fucking talking. Four, you're just a bit stupid anyway. And five, half the shit you say doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
true.
They would try and prove a point and then start bringing up random bullshit. But you said this at this time, and then you look through the fucking server log and go, you didn't say anything that fucking time. You look through server logs, I didn't say anything that time.
Look through the server logs and go SMH.
Yeah, now you'd go in there and you look and go, no, it's not that. Made out. And again, that's like another thing. But someone from outside who would join the server, right, could just look and go, yeah, that server's breaking terms. They'd join, have a look around, scroll up the chat a bit for context or whatever, and they'd go, not safe for work picture, not safe for work picture. Scroll up, oh wow, look, the server owner themselves mentioning that they're under 18 and they're running an 18+ server. That's another bug. Or where they make people are threatening other users. These users or admins
the owner
and things like that.
Yeah, the thing with the owner is the fact that she would so passively aggressively try and get into an argument with me about fucking politics. Because, okay, I'm just gonna be straight up. She was a commie, I was a capitalist. Basically, so what I'm saying is she was stupid and I was intelligent. So you can see how we'd butt heads, of course, because stupid people can't understand intelligent people, and intelligent people can understand stupid people, but they think they're stupid. So here's the thing.
Think stupid to act stupid to understand stupid. That's the 3 rules of being stupid, and that's how you understand them. You think stupid to get to their level, you drop your IQ to get to their level, you understand it, and you go back to your level and go, fuck you, I understand what you're saying, but I don't care.
Yeah, and it's the fact that she didn't even understand her own system. Because, okay, the fact is, she basically said, no, this is the thing. So
they made it flawed.
Yeah, she would say communism is all good. I'm like, okay, so you don't own the thing you have. And she's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, I can take a page from the Communist Manifesto that literally says the abolition of private property, and you're trying to tell me that that's not true. I literally have
And
the
again,
fucking book right
the
here. And the
abolition
fact
of
that
private property. If you was to get a fake penis, it's owned by the government, not
and
by
it's not
you.
even that, but it's the fact that you don't even own your own server. If you think about it, you don't even get to own your own server. And it's also the fact of because the fact of she was a capitalist. Remember how she would accept money in her
No.
fucking PayPal or whatever it was? That's a
Yeah.
capitalist thing. Because in communism, you can't accept trade. You cannot
Bruh.
give people money, or
You're trying to run a
all the money is
communist
owned
server?
by the public.
Is that what the CO in your profile picture means? Communism?
No. It's CO. First two letters, my first name.
Cloud it out.
Yeah,
Cloud
it's
it.
clouded
My
out.
penis fella. Oh, wait a minute. That's not me.
But
Owned by
the
the
thing
government.
is the fact of no, she didn't under because Haley, you told me this, and this is the only reason I know is because she didn't even know how to purge chat. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
fucking
That was funny
tells you.
Yeah, that was a funny and a fucking half, wasn't it? Jesus Christ, when that kicked off. So how do I don't know how to purge. So why did you delete the entire fucking general and just make a new one?
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
that's the basics.
Oh, and also I know this juicy scoop of gossip because you know.
What? Do tell.
When I remember talking to her, and then she was talking about how she wanted to get higher up in the list, of, like through the surgery and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, about, like, she wanted to cut herself to get higher
she
up in the
wanted
list.
to attempt
Yeah.
Oh my
suicide.
god.
And all I
Oh,
said
I
was,
remember that. Oh my
You're
god.
not going to gain anything from that, and in fact, you're going to lose because of the fact of they would be like, well, they're suicidal. What's the fucking point?
Yeah,
know?
they're just gonna
Yeah.
lose a customer. Or not a customer,
Yeah.
a
They're
client.
gonna lose money. They're gonna no, it's not even that they're gonna lose the technology and the time and effort they put into even doing the procedure.
Monitoring, said people, giving, medical supplies to said people, operating on said people, giving them the
It's-
right psychiatry and things like
it's the
that to
fact
make
of
sure they're okay. Building
only the commie fucking moon named piece of shit herself would be the type to do that. I mean, when we talk about dumb people doing dumb shit, she's the only type to fucking do that. If we're gonna be honest, what other human being do you know that is actually that fucking retarded? I know some pretty retarded people,
A man
and
named
even they wouldn't
Gzilla.
do that. I don't know him, so.
Hold on,
But
what was it that one guy? You Kelly. You remember that one guy who would always keep fucking trying to get with you, and then you just shot him with a fucking Google Docs?
Yeah,
Like you
that was amazing.
Yeah, I bring this up because it's also on the same page, really. Of
I
it's
should
just
read
people.
that out. I should read that out right now.
Yeah, go
do you
for it.
remember a
Oh
person?
my
Wait a minute.
god.
I think we all remember the fond memories of a person I like to nickname Army Girl. Army Girl.
Okay, now I don't even think that warrants its own story because the fact of that was just one of those army douches.
Yeah, it was. Because
I mean, it
it
doesn't
was the
have its own
fact.
story. I mean, it's
But
kind
remember, okay, remember
sensitive.
Kunster. We all remember Kunster. Which I already talked about him, so man.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't really. I mean, look at the time he donated money to them.
But they refunded it and
Yeah,
the,
I
the,
want a donator's role so they get it, and then everything goes to shit.
yeah, I got the
I still
role,
find it funny, right? The actions I done set a base plate for that server to even fucking stand. And what
Yeah.
do I get from it? I don't get a thank you. I don't get an actual thank you. I don't get shit. I get treated like shit by people, right?
Yeah.
I help build the rules. No one follows the rules. I enforce the rules and get called a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Motherfucker. How does that work?
It doesn't. That's what.
it doesn't make sense. And it's the fact that it's the fact that all of us were treated so unfairly when the fact of we were just trying to help them. And if anything, we put up no, here's the thing. We were so patient. We were patient enough to put up with their shit for pretty much half to 3/4 of a year, even though they weren't listening to us. We still spoke out. We could have just kept our mouths shut and let it die. But no, we cared about the place that much, and we fucking,
it was on a course to destruction.
Yeah. But we still cared enough about the place to try and fucking save it, and they still didn't listen to us. It shows that we cared about more than they did. We cared about a server more than the owner did, which I find funny.
I mean, look at another piece as well is even before I was even a fucking admin, I grouped together a bunch of friends from that server, made my own hideout, really.
Yeah.
And look at that, I had my own place to build. So I said to myself, if I do get booted from that place, everyone just fucks off. We go to this server, and then I just go to my main server and just grow that up. Fast forward, server boosting's now a thing. I'm growing my server because of the fact of the hub and this.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's going to take a while for me to grow the server out. It's a community anyway.
It'll all be worth it in the end. Slow and steady wins the race.
Unless you're some people who think you're immediately right and go, that statement is wrong.
Like
and I'm gonna be
the person
crucially honest as well.
Like the person who we should send to the moon without oxygen masks or astronaut suits.
Okay, what was that? No, what was that rocket accident? The one that made it past
the one that
explode, killing the teacher. That one.
Oh, that was with Reagan. That was one of the Apollo missions. I forgot, but I know what you're talking about. It was on TV. It was a big fucking thing. It was. It was
and the class
basically what.
Yeah.
Basically
we'll do that, but instead we'll put some explosives on the interior. So then once it actually gets to a height, we just go.
No, have you ever seen the movie the Doctor Strangelove when he rides the nuclear bomb to the ground? We'll just kind of tie her up onto that and force her to do that.
Nah, that's some whack shit. And we have to start dealing with some other things. I think if we just make it look like an accident on a fucking.
Should we assume that everyone from the Netherlands, or a vast majority, are retarded? So we just evacuate the smart ones and nuke the rest, just to clear them up even more, killing two birds with one stone.
I was gonna say, but nuclear weapons would then end up causing environmental harm. So if we just excavate the entirety of the Netherlands to then create a shit ton of a huge fucking lake.
Or we can build a wall, a big wall surrounding it, and turn it into a Hunger Games type thing. And instead of the last person winning,
Netherlands boom.
But here's the thing: instead of the last person surviving winning, we just shoot the last person in the head. Then we win in the end.
We win.
Yeah, we win.
We'll sit from a fucking underground bunker, hidden away, and we'll be like, all right. This is very funny, guys. Do you think it's time to deploy the weapons? Yes, that's right.
I'm talking about the mustard gas.
It's not mustard gas because remember we have to care for the Geneva Convention. Instead, we're gonna see. Oh wow, look at that! There's the only person alive. We've got an AK-47, an AR-15, and a marksman rifle here. Adequate job.
Wait, we've been at this for almost 3 hours now. 2 hours and 37 minutes.
We'll just keep rolling it until we actually
This is good. Yeah, this is great.
Because we're actually, we're going somewhere. Not just that, but this also averages, raises the average episode length, which is also very good. Statistics. So if anyone wants to look at yourself, if anyone wants to look at I don't know, that one site tells you stats. Then it will be the episode the average length, and it will say 2 hours, and that's what we want. But I just find it funny when it's always some stupid Discord server, ain't it? Or someone in there. Oh, and that's one thing. I've kind of tend to notice that long distance relationships always fall to pieces, and I think, you can. Some people. I mean, I saw something on Instagram, I think earlier today. Some dude, he was dating a girl for 2 years, and they broke up as soon as they met face to face because she thought he would be taller. And it's not really a thing to laugh about if you think about it, because it shows you that long distance is killing, really. I mean, think about it. These two have had the most, like, I don't know, the most happiest of love, right? Meet face to
But it
face.
was at
You're
no love.
at the right height. Well, look at that.
I'm just,
You know,
for me, I'm not laughing at the fact that it happened. I'm just laughing at the fact that that's how some women are. They're that fucking retarded that once they see someone that like what you said, the happiest of fucking love, but once they see each other face to face, it's gone. It's like, what's the point? Why'd you love them in the first place? There's no fucking point.
And the thing is, I think that's the way, like, people who are probably gay would
It's
even
truly
have
sad.
a happier fucking relationship sometimes. And if you think of it in that objective sentence and reason, it makes more sense.
It does.
And I can see why people do it more often, because the fact of, at least they're fucking happy. They don't give a shit. They don't have much other stuff. Oh, this man has to be this tall, or I'm not dating him. Well, fuck off. Some of the standards people set for men are fucking over the top.
They're crazy.
Oh,
I'll never understand.
It has to be over this high. What the fuck? Why do you need him to be 5'10" plus? What about people who are 5'9", 8? You know? Oh, well, you might be short, but have you not really realized that the context of feeling emotion for someone is a lot more than if you look attractive with them? If you feel happy,
it's the point
with
of
end of.
You gotta love someone from the inside. You can't just love what they look like. Yeah,
It's
like
the
love who
emotional
they are,
connection
their
which
character.
matters most.
Yeah, because think about it. If you just love someone just because of their looks, how long is that gonna last? If you compare it to someone who loves you for like who you are,
also applies to long distance relationships, because the fact of, you know, because you're behind a screen, you've got Instagram, Snapchat filters and things, make yourself look better. So in reality, when you actually turn up, or if the fucking whole thing falls apart before you even turn there, because you just got bored of them, well, look at that. What, you know, you're a fucking idiot. It doesn't take a rocket scientist sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't wrap my head around why some people would be like, okay, I can understand from people, you know, dating from, you know, if you was in Canada and they were in the States, that's understandable, because in the long run, it's not really actually too far.
No, it's not far at all.
You know, when you have people from, you know, they actually build an emotional connection from the UK to the US, makes sense. It could fall apart, but will it really not?
No one knows. It just has to happen. There's no way to predict it.
That's what I mean. But most of the time, it usually follows through, because the fact of they keep talking, he's showing commitment by staying up, or vice versa. Yeah. So they go to the States or they come over.
Yeah.
They live a happy life. But then you got people who are like from Europe to like some place next to China.
Yeah,
right?
like Japan.
Like, they didn't even know that shit existed, and they're somehow from there.
And the time zones as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, the time zones are
fucking
horrible.
Horrendous. You only have maybe a few hours of the day without, you know, staying up too late or waking up really early to talk to them.
And also, that's another thing. It leads into the fact of you don't get to talk to each other as much, and every time you don't talk to someone in a relationship, you start to separate. The stuff holding the relationship together becomes weaker, and you start to, you know, kind of forget about each other. If we're gonna be honest, you kind of start to basically kind of forget about the entire thing, which leads to a breakup, or even then just leads to you not talking to each other and then forgetting that you were in a relationship in the first place.
That's what I mean, especially if you bring it into a server, a community server as well. The same thing happens, you know?
Yeah.
Because you two are together, but could you just also be staying together or saying you're staying together because of the fact of you're in, you know, to keep that server picture alive?
Yeah, but then of course you got the fucking thought who's like in their 20s, and then they go after someone who's below 18 or just turned 18, like right after they fucking break up with someone. It's like, bro, really?
Like that's when you just think about as well that, yeah, they may be closer, but because of the fact of, you know, morally as well, doing that is wrong, along with respect people that they might not fucking actually have interest. They might joke around, oh yeah, I'll date you once I break up. Yeah. But that never follows through because the fact that people have different interests.
Standards.
Yeah. I have high standards for reasons.
Yes,
me too. I personally have high standards.
The biggest standards is
in the hard way.
I mean, we all know that. I'm pretty sure everyone now just has you know, do not be from the Netherlands.
Yeah. Or third world country. Third world country in the middle of Europe.
Like in the middle of like some fucking. What if they really like contributed?
Yeah, what have they really been done? Nothing.
That's what I mean. Like, with their server image, it's only going to harm it if they break up. So they have to keep high, you know. And then when someone's like, "Oh, how's this person doing?" You know, they'd do it and go, "No, actually, we're not together." And then it'd be like, and that's it. They'd run and then fucking talk about it. You know, immediately gossip to everyone. Like, oh my god, he's not with her anymore, and that's it. But I think the worst thing
there's another part of relationships. The fact that people use the most unconventional ways to try and quote unquote court someone, such as sending nudes to them. Because remember how on the other server, you know, all that shit with like someone sending nudes to the owner. Remember that one underage guy sent nudes to, you know, the moon, you know? If we remember that guy.
I mean, that would be easier.
But I kind of feel like he did it to get with her. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, think about it.
Look at the
there
guy
are weird ways
who saying, oh, you know, took a picture of him nude.
Yeah.
With
sent to the owner.
No. The guy who sent a nude with a picture of one of their characters printed above his crotch with his in shot, and then sent it to Popufer. Like,
That's the point of where it's disgusting.
Right.
Reverse 200 IQ play.
Right. Now, this is acceptable in its own form, right? He's doing what makes him happy in that sense, right?
I guess.
Yeah,
you know what isn't okay? As being that Popufer, right? To then make an entire post talking about him, right? And then on top of that, adding the fact of that you've pretty much shared their personal information.
Yeah.
Like them with a very large, you know, platform to then do that. I'm pretty sure it is more than morally wrong, and against some sort of terms as well.
It's horrible.
Which then creates its own problems in itself. Like, so what are they gonna do then?
Nothing.
They're up shit creek without a paddle.
I was gonna say they're just dead. Because I mean, yeah, you might be popular, but what you've really just done is like shot yourself in the foot by going, well, guys, here's a picture of this man naked. What he sent to me. Now, as you know, if he was being someone popular, you would respect their privacy and not do something like that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty sure they could even fucking press charges if he wanted to.
They probably could.
No, it's not going to go that far.
I mean, he could really, you know, could really destabilize a lot of things just by a few fucking words.
He could. They could both be in a lot of fucking hot water because of that.
I mean, for him, he done it. You know, he said he was happy with himself.
Yeah.
But then he shot himself. Oh no, the Popular was then shooting themselves in the foot by posting their private information of this guy.
Yeah.
Which then also exposed where he lives and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, if he was semi-competent, you know, you'd more than likely be certain of going, that's not right.
You commit an oopsie, and I'm gonna make sure you regret it.
like this guy could do quite a lot in his legal right because the fact of what they've done, and again, moral standards. You know,
he could.
It just shows you that some people are really big fucking idiots, though.
It does. It does.
Because I'm popular, I think I have a god complex, or because I own another server and I'm partnered, I can treat everyone in there like shit. Well, guess what?
Yes.
I gave money to the owner, so that means I'm the best, most powerful person on the planet. I'm a god amongst all of you peasants, and you need to worship me. It's like fuck off. It's like fuck off.
And don't forget,
it's like if you're gonna have that mentality, then just
look at the other people who just disliked me from the get-go, and then also like started trying to cuss me out.
Yeah.
And also, turns out that same dude was also a fucking creep.
And underage.
No, the guy who I called a retarded Cookie Crisp looking head ass, that guy. Remember the guy who got really tilted over me, like, using bruh? Him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, yep.
Yeah,
yep.
that dude was also a fucking creep, and that was the funnier part. He got banned from the server for being a creep, but yet, because he was one of the co-owner's friend, he got put back into the server.
Oh, wait, Lucky?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Lucky, yep. It was
knock off Cookie Crisp looking head ass.
Yeah. The thing I hate the most is when someone just tries to get power just for the sake of using it against people. It's just
same thing as well. If you merge servers and like you're a big server as well, and you join their server, you don't want to act like you have a god complex because you are partnered with their server. No, it shouldn't.
Also, partnering with servers only really works between two extremely big servers, because like
it's
with
a
the
mutual
example
exchange of people, and
but like with the with the example, like with the example of the dead server. The nail in the coffin was when they merged, because guess what happened when they merged? Everyone went to the new server, the server they merged with, and left the other one. So they just lost a bunch of members.
The thing is, the last big merge or the last big partnering, like, was the huge shit show. There was a kid called Joshy. I think that's his name.
Yep.
I have no idea.
Kid called Joshy, and then the server owner of their server also joined. It also turns out they had some sort of standing beef. But again, Joshy got banned because he was like really begging to, and I was like, okay, he was begging to be banned, so you are banned.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I still speak to him every so often because just checking up on him. The server owner, however, their server, it turns out the kid was also underage, and because his hypersexual nature anyway, he shot himself like that. And not just that, because his account got shut down, his server got shut down. I wonder who that also sounds like.
He got hit hard.
Yeah, that kid got fucking shot. He was hypersexual, always over the top. Yeah, he shot himself in the foot, really. More than that, he fucking blown off his own leg.
He blew off his he blew off his
the
own
funny thing is,
torso.
once those two servers merged, or even before that, we had no future fucking warning. We had no previous warning that, oh wow, look at that, we're gonna get a server
like the
fact, expect more people. Nothing.
Okay, I like the fact this is the one time, the fucking rabbit was smart, because he was like, I don't think this is a good idea. But the moon, because of her egotism.
Actually, no, I'm pretty sure he was the one who fucking accepted it.
Well, I thought originally he said it wasn't a good idea, and but
I was
the
I think it was just
moon was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I think it was only just me and fucking Kelly who went, yeah, it made no sense to fucking do it.
Okay, well, regardless, my point is, someone said it was
also contested, the fact of, oh wow, look at that, you've pretty much just fucking shot the server because of the fact that you guys didn't really do shit. You know,
and it's the fact of they didn't take any advice from their own admins. It's like, why have a suggestions chat if you're not gonna even take suggestions other than a new channel?
yeah, people suggested it, or it worked for a little bit, then it died, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, what's the point? There is no point.
It just infuriates me that the lack of communication between admin and owner was fucking non-existent.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem for me, was just that. They shot the server, really, but
a big problem for me was just the fact that so many members were either A, uninformed and didn't know what to say, so they just
and
went
also
with
let's
whatever the
not
owner said,
forget that
or
the
B,
owner
they
also repeatedly posted chronic amounts of not safe for work in safe
in the
chat.
general and in the general chat as well. But the thing that pissed me off most about just is the fact that the normal members like me were either A, uninformed, so they just believed whatever the owner told them because, you know, sheep go wherever the fucking, because
And remember, because
sheep will
it's a
follow
girl.
the first sheep, and the fact that most of them would suck the toes so fucking badly of the owner that even when they were blatantly wrong, they would still be like, oh,
Suck the toes?
she's right.
Any person with a vagina, Umbi would have just gone right for.
Yep.
And
Oh my god, no.
completely fucking honest with you, the same system also applies to red.
Yes.
Yeah, red. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Not only did he have like some retard complex, but the amount of times where we got into clashes because he was just being a resilient fucking cunt.
This is what happened to me. He tried snatching this. She's my ex now, but when this girl was my girlfriend, he tried snatching her because he was friends with her. And he was like, "Oh, I love this girl and everything." And I'm like, I'm sorry to break it to you. And I had to be blunt. I was like, I'm sorry to be blunt with you, but I'm with her. So
What do you think?
don't
I'm
try and
overly protective over Elliot as well.
Yeah, same here. That's why I was story time, sad time, but yeah, bad shit happened in my life. So
fucking noise in the
Jesus, man,
background.
that scared the hell out of me. Oh my god.
but okay, but anyway, so that's why I was very overprotective of my, or was over my girlfriend. Sad moment, but yeah, sad shit happened in my life about a week ago, but we won't talk about that.
Bitch,
But
caught
so
about
anyway,
a week ago.
yeah. So the thing is, so he tried snatching my fucking girlfriend at the time, and I'm basically saying don't do that, and he took it as a personal insult, and he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. I could tell he was trying to guilt trip her. He was acting all sad and everything. He was like, oh, what do you mean? I'm not trying to do it. I'm like, okay. In the end, I was like, shut the fuck up. You know exactly what you're doing, and if you continue to do it, you will face consequences. I'm not fucking joking, because I'm not telling her about this right now, but if I need to, I will. And he was like, oh, no, don't tell her. And I'm like, there's my strong point. There's the pressure point.
True.
Yeah.
2 hours, 57 minutes in.
2 hours 52 to be exact.
Oh. Oh yeah,
for me it's 2 hours and 58. For me it's 2 hours 58, but of course we had the introduction, since we actually started the podcast. Yeah,
well, no, we started it up. Everyone went to go for a piss, get their own drink, have like a quick moment to discuss our start.
Yeah,
and that was pretty much the way like we started it up. I find it funny how we've gone through so much shit, and this all started from games or just a little while, and then after that, it's fucking talking about dildos.
I just like the fact how this just shows how we have so much to talk about that we can go on for 3 hours, and we're not like, what are we going to talk about next? Like, we just keep going on and on and on and on and on.
That's what I like about this podcast.
Same here.
It's different than, like I say, I always say this because it's. I can also quote the one guy who left the comment, and he's like, "This is a lot different than your traditional one because the traditional one you have a set topic. This is just we just talk.
This is
Wing
improv.
it.
It's natural. It's natural. You wing it. Yeah, it's natural. It's where you
And
get to be
that's where I
you.
thought
It's where you
this
are.
would
You.
be the best, podcast in a way because of the fact of it naturally segments into how's your day? How's oh this I heard you downloaded this game. How about if you tried this game? Well, speaking of this game,
Yeah,
have you also looked at these other
fucking,
games? Or how about if you looked at this
so
company?
natural.
And then sometimes we stop and look, you stop even mid-episode and you look and you go, I think this is going to take off one day.
Yeah.
We just
it
need
probably
to keep.
will. I hope it does.
I mean,
And like I said, I'll continually get more of my friends, in on it, and subscribe, stuff like that, and of course.
and I say this as
members,
well.
too.
I don't care about the numbers. I'm only doing
Yeah,
this because
same
I
here.
also enjoy myself.
It was fun as fuck. Yeah.
And the same thing goes for my return on the hub. Ever since I've got more time, I say I don't care about the views. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. Yes, it may take time, but I sure as hell have fun. I'm making these these bits of content happy because the fact of I'm like, look at that, I've made something cool.
Yeah.
The first time, the episode 0 of this podcast, looking back at it now, we sat there and we was like, I sat there with a friend beforehand. This was like just on the spot. Hey, you want to go on Skype so we can record and make a podcast? Yeah, sure, let's go. And that was it.
From humble beginnings.
From just that, from episode 0, we had the name.
From episode 0.
From episode 0, we had the name.
Oh, and by the way, how'd you even think about the name Talk a Clock? Like, did it just pop into your head, or?
I think if he was to review audio from episode 0,
that was the first one I saw, and I pretty much watched them all, so I probably forgot to do this, but...
Yeah, you probably would have heard the name. I think I was drafting the name at the time, and I think Talk a Clock makes sense because the fact of
it's talking, time, it's time, it's also not super generic like most podcasts. Like, because for me, every time I think of,
I should have googled the name because there was also like music, which is also called Talk a Clock, which makes no fucking sense. Like rap, and I'm like, how the fuck does rap have anything to do with talking?
It's mumbling. It's mumbling. Stuttering and mumbling.
Oh, yeah, pussy this, pussy that, pull up on your block. So okay.
I just found an argument in the Steam profiles comment section.
Actually, no, you're just gonna read your Google Docs thing.
Yeah, you want me to?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I give a bit of context as well beforehand, so obviously it makes a bit sense.
All right, so this man
viewers know
kept on hitting me up because he really liked trans people, right? So I actually felt bad for him, right? And I thought that I could help him, so I sent him to one of my trans friends who's very open and was also looking for a relationship. And they talked and ended up getting together. And it ended up being a whole shit show of arguing. And
I was like,
not arguing. It was just like kind of hidden behind my back. But then I finally talked to my trans friend person about it. And she said that it was weird and it wasn't really going anywhere.
Damn.
So I tried to talk with the guy, and I talked with him a bit after, and he was like a little shit, and I got so angry with him. Like, it was one of those times where I just wanted to become Kyle and ascend and like punch a hole in the wall. But I couldn't do that. Yeah. So instead, I wrote an entire Google Doc. It's almost a page long of me venting to him about him. So I can start reading that now, yeah? Okay. I said, when we first met, I was happy that you liked my character. I liked your character and we're cool. And then suddenly, you had caught feelings for me. Why? Not because I'm kind-hearted, polite, trying to be nice to everyone, but because I'm a trans person. You say you're demisexual, but you obviously aren't. Your dick can get hard from anything. I saw your posts and selfie gif, which is a thing where, you post your nudes in the server. And he said, and I said, you are nothing but a child trapped in a man's body who lives for a relationship. You are so incredibly hard to conversate with. It's not even funny. At this point, it's just disgusting and angering. When I offer you a photo of my face, the least you can do is give a valid reason on why you don't want it. Speaking of not wanting something, if you don't like me, why do you keep crawling back to me after every time we stop speaking if you dislike me? It makes no sense and makes me think you're jealous that you couldn't date me when we first started speaking. Speaking of that, I tried to help you and get you to the best relationship that I can find. I had to tell you that you wanted a nice, caring girlfriend, but no, all you wanted to do was fulfill your pegging fetish. And I've told her about your fetish is a problem. Oh, I've told her everything there is to know. She knows that you continuously keep coming back to me to bug me. She knows how you dislike me and keep calling back because of your pegging fantasy. She knows all of it. She considers me family. She trusts me over you 100%. And it's not like I've been lying to her. I've been telling her about all the bullshit you've done that doesn't add up, all of it. And if you can't respect her, and if you can't respect me, then she can't be with you. She told me this herself. She was thinking of telling you it wouldn't work because of distance. She's simply holding back because she knows that you'll be heartbroken. But when I flood her with what you've done recently, she'll have no problem ending your relationship. You say you're loyal and that apparently roleplay is a serious thing, which is not, but each to their own. So in summary, you're nothing. Nothing but a child in a male adult's body. You are worthless and will never have any sort of use in life. All you crave is pegging for your fetish or some sort of sexual interaction. I actually felt bad for you and wanted to help, but how you've acted recently makes me feel bad for all the people you've been talking to. Ignoring images of something you don't like because you're not into cars is one of the most childish things you can do. This isn't the third because you're not. This isn't the third grade anymore, and you obviously have no idea how the real world works. I'm happy that you were happy, but now I'm not. I usually hold back on stuff like this, but I couldn't. You're simply too childish to help or do anything at all properly without being the trans dick buddy. I think I've said enough. I could say so much more, but this is enough to show that you're pathetic. Bye, smiley face.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
I hate going absolutely ham like that, but I just had to. That's the first time I'd ever done something like that.
I mean,
Your
you wake
baptism
up
by
with
fire
days.
into getting angry.
I mean, you wake up some days, very easy lit fuse, or your lit fuse is already lit, so you just wake
Yep.
up angry. You're feeling, you're okay, but you're just angry. So you get shit done, and then lo and behold, what? Oh, there's someone being a cunt. So you're like, oh, I don't really care. So you and then you go into a VC one day to have this guy asking a woman for actual underwear,
I was about to bring
for actual fucking underwear, right?
Oh
This
yeah.
kid is 15, and
I was
he's
about to bring that
asking
up.
like a 20-year-old woman for her to send him her
Underwear to smell. And then you just go fucking off, and he's like, "Oh."
And I just said,
and
right, let me
leaves.
fucking stop you right there.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think. You can be really fucking happy, but actually, it's not right. It's fucking wrong. What you're also
That is-
doing would also be committing a crime, and not just that, but what do you fucking think you're going to get from this? And what do you think she's going to get, knowing that you're doing some dumb bullshit? All he's going to get out of it is his own personal gain, and you would only be hurting yourself doing that. And if his parents found out, which they're probably most likely, because they'll be like, "Oh, he's got a package here. Let's open it. Oh wow, it's women's underwear," and be like, "These are used," and then go, "Fucking idiot, fucking idiot."
I can just
What a
imagine the
fucking idiot.
conversation. No, he would pull a full Logan Paul and say, "I've made a very fucking." I completely
all
forgot
he
what he said
said,
at the start.
all he
But
said,
yeah, you know.
right afterwards, okay, I'm just gonna cry in my bed. And I was okay, fucking do it. I don't care. What do you want?
You
From
want a pity party? You want a pity party from
I
me?
don't care.
Halo? I don't give out pity parties, you fucking
Yeah, just the way he
dumbass.
was just like, I'm just gonna go in my bed and cry. I was like, fucking do it. I don't care. What do you think you were going to get out of this? Nothing.
Nothing but your own scummy, petty little desires because you're that lonely.
It's pretty much, it just makes no sense, some people. But when they do something like that, I think there should be more regulations which go against it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Time to wrap it up now, people?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Damn, that's a great
Yeah.
time. Pretty much 3 hours. Just above 3 hours.
3:33 when I just read it out. So, if you like the video, like it. If you want to rate the video, you can, hit like, comment on it. Tell this to your friends if you've made it this far. If you want to suggest some topics to us, go for it, because we're all for it.
That's what we do.
If you would like to share this with your family and friends, go ahead. Feel free to. If you want to plug this somewhere, feel free to. If you want some feedback, if you want to give us some feedback, throw it in the comments or pull up into the Discord.
Pull up.
We'll see you next week, my people.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you then.